Alright, what's up everybody? It's Lids, and we are back for some more Pyre Community RITE NITE, which means, of course, some good old-fashioned multiplayer Pyre featuring, first and foremost, none other than the members of the RITE Club Discord server, the place for all things multiplayer Pyre. And if you're interested in getting more involved in multiplayer Pyre, then that is the best way to do so. And you can join said Discord server by clicking on that link right there. But those of you in chat, you are not off the hook. No, because you see the red circle with the white L below chat. You click on that, you'll find all of the various requests that you can make today, including things ranging from selecting players' exiles, masteries, songs, arenas, even Titan stars are all fair game. So without further ado, let's hop in here to versus mode, set up our defaults, and let me know, chat, if anyone would like to hop in here as I hop into that Discord group. Let's see. Alright. I am in. Cow is available. Alright, let me make sure I've got Steam Friends up and ready to go. There you are. Okay. Let's get Cacao in here. Oh, hold on. The last second, oh, someone else just logged in on Steam. I was about to invite Cacao, and then right as I was about to press the button, it turned into someone else's name, who was not Cacao. But alright, so we have one. Looking for one more here to accompany Cacao. And Cacao, let me make sure you've got controls set up properly on remote play, because you don't, but now you do. And let's just make sure your controls make sense for you. So Cacao will be on keyboard mouse, I assume. And that means we're looking for someone here to be hopping in on controller to face off against Cacao. And Nora's like, hold on, I know, the party may not quite have started yet, but that's because she has only just arrived. How's it going, Nora? If you'd like to hop in here, we have Cacao, and we're looking for one more. Also, of course, if there's anything we'd like to see for this first one, let us know there as well, but maybe we'll give our players, whoever that second one might be, a little bit of a chance to warm up before we start throwing anything too crazy at them. I'm doing alright today. I know I mentioned it in passing on a few prior occasions, that the World Cup has been going on. Today was the World Cup final. I won't spoil it in case there are people who have not been, or have not yet seen it, who would like to do so. But even for those of you who are not big, what is that? Football, association football, to use a term that is acceptable across borders. It's worth watching. That game was just incredible. Even if you're not a fan yourself, it was absolutely a classic. So it was the final, and it lived up to the billing. So I'm still a little hyped up from that. Yeah, no worries, Honora. Let's get you in. Let's get you in. I believe Honora has, as of late, spent more time playing on, or at least, I'm not sure if she would consider herself on level terms, controller versus keyboard mouse, but it seems as though nowadays she's at least willing, or more willing, to play on controller than she previously was. So I believe that means Nora's good to go on controller then, and presumably that means we'll have a Nora player 1 here and Cacao player 2. Cacao, I assume that Accusers was intended, as I believe I saw you setting that up. Nora, I assume you're going Nightwings here? Yeah, no worries. Okay. Let me set up your information in that case. There we go. Let's get the sigils as well. Huzzah and Hazoo. Alright. So we have our players in here. Don't think I've seen any requests yet in chat. So in that case, why don't we just have ourselves get started with a simple, straightforward match in which both players take whatever they'd like to take. Nothing too crazy just yet. As we were saying, we'll give them a little bit of a chance to warm up.
Stand forth, exiles. You stand upon the nest of Priesta. You have this opportunity to prove your worth. Cling to whatever shred of hope you have. Night wings, stand prepared. Accusers, stand ready. Now we shall get started.
So no requests here. You're free to take whatever you want. Cacao is back after making it sound as if he has been physically held against his will and prevented from playing Pyre, whereas Anor is back in blue, representing the Nightwings. And Anor leads off with a quick throwing ninja stowaway. Back in gold? Basically? For Cacao, I suppose that means? And Cacao starts with a speedy messenger, a little bit of an unusual pick there. Both from a mastery and also talisman standpoint, and even positioning standpoint. Yeah, no, the worst is when you have your controller just resting on a table, and, you're not holding it, and you forget that it's gonna vibrate like that, and then suddenly it happens and it just goes crazy. It's really loud. Core summoning ritual? What? What is this? What is this nonsense of which you speak? Oh. Oh, I might know what you mean now. Anor breaking out the distance jumping Gilman, and I think we've heard on many prior occasions Anor say how she's generally not a big fan of using the worms. She is playing on controller today, whereas most of the time in the past she had been on keyboard mouse, maybe not as much as of late, but maybe the alternate control scheme might be a little more willing to go the worm route. Mustn't. And lastly, a Web Lanthorn Tizo. We saw Cacao take, I believe that was Zoxiana most recently. Might have been a Web Lanthorn to get all the stamina back when he picks up the orb. Now this is going with this Beleth here. Anor first to the orb, but gets banished first as well. Messenger Imp flies over the defense. And we saw Cacao go in for the extra imp damage. Did go a more offensive route than you tend to see with those imps. And that paid off, as did this plunge here for Zoxiana. But Anor with the quick counter here. First to the orb and throwing it in quickly with the stowaway. She teleports the orb again here. But this time it's intercepted. Cacao. Back to Vizbaleth, now back to Messenger Imp. Vizbaleth, Messenger Imp still up there. Blocked. has it back. It has enough room to make it in for 25. And that drops Nor down to 30, which means Vids specifically does have enough damage for Cacao to finish this with 1 score. Anyone else would require at least 2. And Cacao using Vids aggressively to get some banishments, putting on the pressure. Nor does still have it and now has an opening.
The orb has hit the mark.
And that lands for another 20. Nor teleports the orb once again and follows up with a quick throw. That time cuts it a little bit short, though. Rather than the full 20, just 13 in that instance. Stowaway trying to repeat that, but this time it's intercepted. And Cacao figuring out who he would like to launch his attack with. As we were saying, Vids by far his most dangerous exile, but also his least mobile. Oh, and a Nor's throw inches shy of the Pyre, but then gets the rebound, follows it in, and plunges for 20. But it does mean now no stowaway for Nor in this round. Cacao back on it. So does Cacao get greedy here and try to force the issue with Vids, or is he willing to settle for a score from other characters, even if it means it will not be enough in and of itself to finish the job? Nor trying to bait out Cacao's defenders. But oh, suddenly, a Nor without any defenders left, and here is Vids. That dangerous exile we were talking about, but a Nor does get someone back in time to stop her. Throw from a Nor, but that looks short, and Cacao has it back. Vids has a portal that is fairly close by. Still over there, but goes down. And this time, Cacao's portal is right next to a Nor's Pyre. And Cacao, you can see right here, he could score. He absolutely could. But he is waiting for Vids to return. Because he's eyeing that portal, tries to go through it, but a Nor saw it coming and able to block Vids, but that portal, oh no, has now been moved. So there you saw it, exactly what I was referring to before. Cacao had the ability to score for 20 damage, but 20 damage is not enough to do it. So we went all or nothing with Vids and got nothing. But here is Vids once again. This time without the portal, taking him much of the way there. It is still in the middle of the arena, but that's not that useful for him at this stage. Would move up that portal, though, if Messenger Imp is to get banished, and now it's in a slightly more aggressive position. Cow with Vids and Zoxiana. Back to Vids. Zoxiana. And does eventually settle for the 20 damage Zoxiana plunge. Now, of course, just about any score would do it. But it was an exchange that we saw Cacao unwilling to make earlier. Eventually does settle for going that route, though. Oh, and you saw Cacao thinking about going through that portal, but Cacao, at least momentarily, was defenseless. Is that a stunning claim? You're frozen. Okay. I was like, is that just a stunning claim that I didn't see? Okay. Let's, shall we just try... Just do a quick check here. Any better after unpausing? No. Okay. Yeah, let's just re-invite you. Let's just re-invite you. Oh. Oh, you dropped. Wait, what? Steam Remote Play does not say you are here anymore. Maybe you... Did you close Remote Play?
I dropped.
Okay. Okay. Cacao says, greed! It's true. It's true. You wanted it all. Alright. Should have you back in here now, Honor, I think. So, okay. Should be fine? Okay, I'll give you guys a countdown then. I'll go 3, 2, 1, go. And on go, I'll hit resume. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so Nor's still on it here with the stowaway. Goes to teleporting route, but does still get banished. And at this point, for Cacao, it doesn't matter who it is. So you saw him moving in with Vids, but it could be her. It could be Messenger Imp. Well, it won't be Zoxiana, at least not in this round, as she is permanently banished. There's a Nor throwing it in for 20. Now, Nor does still need... Can she score more than 20? I'm not sure that she can, so she might actually need 3 scores here. Well, it won't matter, as Cacao makes it in for the winning plunge.
Their fire burns whilst that of their adversaries is but ash.
GG.
Thus end this night's proceedings
All right, let's head on back. We'll play you two.
until the next rite.
Was it a path to glory? A random path to glory? Hey, Rotor, how's it going? Well, let us know, chat, if there's anything you'd like to see for the next one. That was just both players taking whatever they'd like for the first one. So they've had their warm-up. Will of the Scribes. Okay. Yeah, technically the theme of the true Nightwings, but by some accounts, the normal Nightwings as well. So we heard a random version of Cacao's team theme. It's not the worm's fault, okay? Don't blame it on the worms. It's never the worm's fault. Alright, so we have our song. Is there anything else, though? Looks like that'll be it, though. So why don't we jump in for our next one? Oh.
The Nightwings shall
Okay.
be
Well, we find ourselves at the Pit of Belief,
who shall conduct the rites.
an arena at which one needs to ask themselves, what are they looking to achieve in this rite? Because on this particular occasion, the answer may not be so straightforward. Because there is significant opportunity to earn a substantial amount of style points. Cacao knows, taking the most stylish man in the downside. Nor also going with a savage. And now Tizo to flank the stowaway. Then Typhoon Bottle on Manly with the exploding saplings and a little bit of rekindling for Cacao. Honor finishes with a plunging Bertrude. Whereas this time, Cacao goes for a Webbed Lanthorn Lendl. Alright, here we are for the second matchup between these two of the day. And I think we are perhaps primed to see the two savages be the stars of the show as Cacao tries to bounce off the wall and into the pyre and just didn't quite get the trigonometry right there. And Cacao able to intercept that throw, but Honor aggressively pushing here and banishing the entirety of Cacao's team. The issue there being that Cacao took that Typhoon Bottle, so it prevented Honor, temporarily at least, from sprinting, jumping, throwing, or using any other special abilities, and preventing what would have otherwise have been almost surely a free score. Honor trying to go off the wall with Bertrude that time. That is not something we see nearly as often. Oh, but there is Cacao once again trying to go off the wall again with the Savage. Gareth? Oh, but this time he just walks straight on in. And Gareth is back, and Honor has countered with a 20 damage throw to match Cacao's first score. Gareth back on it. And this time, he goes the stylish route. Oh, the game has maybe tabbed out. There we go.
Shall the accusers press their luck, perhaps?
Oh, and Anor trying to go off the wall with the throw with the stowaway that time, but unsuccessful in that attempt. Cal also stopped short of the Pyre. Lendl for Cacao. Was about to bring back Gareth, but then Gareth respawned, and Lendl decided, you know what? Might as well plunge myself. Not 100% sure if that orb was within the safety of the sapling. Certainly is now. Gareth. Off the wall and in once again.
Now end the ceremony.
Big banishments. But Anor does lose Bertrude. Anor has it now with Tizo, and now has the rest of her squad returned from banishment. Bertrude banished as well, though. Oh, and Anor trying to go off the wall with the stowaway, but she stopped once again. And an uncontested Pyre here. Oh, but Anor with the last second save. Anor has that portal, but it is stuck within the confines of that sapling, so not exactly the safest place for her to go through at the moment. And nearly threaded the needle there with the stowaway. And it looked for a second there like Cacao was about to make it clean through with no one back to stop him, but Anor just barely had enough area of effect on that implosion to stop what would have otherwise been likely the winning score. Stowaway ninjas it up. Still blocked, though, and still banished. Gareth? Oh, how many times did he bounce off the wall there? I think it was more than one. Anor, that portal doesn't take her far, but look at the way she's bouncing off the wall. Gao brings back Gareth. And Manly as well. Here comes Gareth. Lendl down, everyone down at this point. That activates Typhoon Bottle. Gareth, first one back, and he stops the stowaway. Now Bertrude for Anor. Shoulder smashed. Gareth. Taunting. And banished. Off the wall for Gareth, but couldn't quite find the target. Stowaway. Now Bertrude. Off the wall 2 times over, but still not enough from her or from the stowaway. That was a very risky maneuver there from Anor, as Tizo was the only defender she had back, so had to be certain she was going to pull that off when she imploded on the would-be attackers. Likewise here. Oh, but the stowaway next to the Pyre. Anor has to decide whether to go in with the plunge and lose the stowaway or try to wait and throw it in. But Cacao got the defenders back, and Anor got nothing out of that opportunity. Big implosion once again. Anor taking everyone out with Tizo. But once again, activating that Typhoon Bottle. So Anor, again, tries to go the throwing route, but unsuccessful. Oh, and Gareth doesn't make it in, but had right next to the Pyre, and nearly was still able to walk that one in. Oh, the stowaway, for a second there, it looked like she found the tiniest little spot of safety in between all those auras. Rather quick throw from Gareth, wasn't really looking all that threatening. Bertrude tries to go off the wall, but unsuccessful. Gareth, he's downed. Stowaway for Anor. Off the wall, but the angle isn't right. Gareth. Stopped to ponder. Meanwhile, Anor said, no thank you. Lendl. Now Manly, back to Lendl. Has the shoulder smash. And for a second there, you thought he might have gotten rid of the last defender and set himself up for the winning score, but wasn't quite the case. Here he is again. Gareth somehow avoids banishment there. Nor intercepts. Looks for Bertrude here. Still trying to go off the wall, but gets crowded out. Gareth. Lendl and Tizo take each other out. There's something poetic about that. Oh, and Anor with just a stowaway back, and she's on the wrong side of the field to stop what would be the winning score for Cacao.
As though the scribes themselves stood by their side. The rite is ended.
GG.
Until the stars align.
All right, let's reset our song, but otherwise, let us know, chat, if there's anything else we'd like to see for the next one. Cad Cabbage, it has been a while. How are you? All cursed talismans. I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. Good to see you again. Alright, so we have the talismans locked in, then it'll be all of the cursed talismans. Do we have anything else we'd like to build on top of that? Default masteries, says Cacao. Default masteries. As in presets, I assume you mean. That means that each character, yes? Okay, so each character has pre-assigned masteries, so no customization there, and it also means that even if some characters are from the same class, they are not the same in the way that they are built, because their masteries will differ from one exile to the next. And it sounds like the players also aren't entirely sure which masteries are on which characters, so we shall see. Actually, in some cases, I believe they even have some combinations that would otherwise be impossible. Might have, you know, the final mastery on one side of the tree and then have a middle mastery, or maybe even the bottom masteries from either side in some cases. So possibly some combinations, some approaches that we would not otherwise be able to see. So let's jump in. Oh, is this? Oh, hold on. When we do the default masteries, there is a bug where we just have to leave versus mode and re-enter it, and then it works. Now it should be fine.
The night wings shall
And it will be in the book.
the accusers. Welcome.
Cacao and Anor immediately react. The two players who are the biggest fans of this arena. Too late for that, I'm afraid. I'm afraid so. I'm afraid so. So as we were saying, with the default masteries activated, preset masteries, that means each character will have a predetermined set of masteries, in some cases, from an unusual combination of left side and right side masteries that actually may not even be possible under normal circumstances. And on a couple of rare occasions, in the cases where some exiles may have more masteries than others, as you see here, some have just one, others have two. There are a few that have three or possibly even all four. In those cases, may even see some characters like Ignarius here, who have their stats reduced as a way to balance out the fact that they have a stronger than usual combination of those masteries. So it does require a little bit of a closer eye. And as we were saying, also means that there is a difference between characters of the same class because they do not have the same masteries. There's another example, Snadver with 4 masteries and therefore less glory than she would otherwise have. So is that a trade that's worth making, though? The Painful Way Hades. Okay, we can get that one going for the next one. Gotcha. And we're trying to take stock of all the options here. As the strategies that players might otherwise typically use may not be viable or even possible with this setup. Anor goes for the stowaway, and it looks like she has the salute is the one mastery she has. Also went for the talisman that will automatically pass the orb to one of her allies if the stowaway is banished with the orb. Oh, cursed! I also totally forgot about that. Oh, right. Well, yep, I forgot to remind you. That is my bad. That was a thing. And so, you know, obviously, also, there was that whole part where Noah was just like, well, I would have liked to have requested not to have the book. Oh, no, no, no. There is no escape. Not only is it Cursed Talismans, it is also the book. Sad face. Oh, is it going to make us do this again? Okay, apparently it's going to make us do this again. Wasn't sure. At least seemed like it was going to make us do the bug workaround once again. Ah, no problem. There we are. If it rolled, it rolled.
The Night Wings shall confront the accusers.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Who shall conduct the rites?
So, as a reminder, Cursed Talismans only, that of course just adds to the layers of complexity, of extra difficulty of this match. As the safe thing to say about all the Cursed Talismans is that although some of them may have what can be, situationally, useful, positive abilities, they all come with significant downsides. In one case, unable to pick up the orb at all. In one case, can't cast. And in another case, a 50-50 chance, whenever they come back from banishment, of potentially coming back as a Howler that does not have an aura, and is therefore just about defenseless. Can still score with that character, but is oftentimes a huge liability. There is an Imp Mastery, the Imp Salute, that allows them to transform into and out of Howler form. So that is the one reliable way to undo the effects of that Cursed Talisman, at least the negative effects of that Cursed Talisman.
Volfred.
And Nor has that very talisman left, the one that can potentially turn her into a Howler. Puts that on a Fell Swoop Tamitha. Cow looks like he wants to go Worm. It's just a matter of which one has the right combination of masteries to fit what he's looking to do here. And he does settle on Gilman. Alright, so here we go. Preset masteries and cursed talismans for both players. And remember, each team has one character that cannot pick up the orb, as we have just seen. In Cacaw's case, it is Volfred. Cacao. Throw is blocked. So for Nor, it is Raji who cannot pick up the orb. And so Cacao, this is what I mean. This would otherwise be his scoring opportunity, and he probably thought he had the orb there for a free throw. But it was not the case, as he could not pick up the orb in the first place. There is the Howler. In fact, both players got it there. It is possible to score with them. They actually have increased base movement speed. They cannot jump. And they do not have an aura. So it is hard to maneuver around opponents offensively. And it is just about impossible to do anything defensively with that character. Nor trying to apply some pressure here. It is possible to destroy those saplings with a casting harp, and in fact, that was the last. That was the last of Cacao's exiles there, but Anor had a character near the opposing Pyre she could score with. The problem was the person closest to the orb was her character that was unable to pick up the orb, so couldn't even pass it to that dangerous exile. Tamitha, in Howler form, does go down, but that might not be a bad thing for Anor, as that is one of the better ways to get that character back in her usual form, but Anor able to score in here with the stowaway. But here is one of the other issues. If you plunge with one of your few characters, one of your two characters that can pick up the orb, that means now you're stuck with two only on your side, one of whom cannot pick up the orb. And if you're stuck, as Anor is here, with that as your only character, then there's not much you can do here, except hold on just a second. Has Nor found a new Black Hoof strat? Looked like she might have been onto something there. Otherwise, it'll be a duel of the imps. But that is fine by Nor's standards, as she is perhaps just trying to bide some time until she gets her character who can pick up the orb back, that being Tamitha, and here she is, and she makes it through for 20 on that plunge, but once again, plunging with one of those few characters who can pick up the orb means now Nor is very reliant on the stowaway, and, well, still able to score with the stowaway. So now Anor back with just Tamitha able to pick up the orb. But Anor apparently not perturbed by having that one character and one character only who is a threat offensively. But right now, Anor defenseless, and here's a Howler for Cacao. It is faster, but not fast enough, as Anor does have both of her defenders back now from banishment. Cacao. Well shielded. Through the portal, and, well, Raji has returned. And Tamitha returns as a Howler. Not what Anor wanted to see. Down she goes. But Cacao quick enough to seize on that opportunity, as Anor was momentarily defenseless, but now for the first time in a very long time, Anor back with 3 exiles in this round. Though right now it is only Raji. Still way back just in time though. Not for long. Tamitha back in her usual form. Not a Howler this time. Cow just shielding the orb, waiting to move in with Messenger Imp, as he cannot pick up the orb with Manly there, or rather with Volfred. So it is now Cacao in that situation that we were talking about with Anor so many times before, where it needs to be Messenger Imp for Cacao, as it is borderline impossible. Technically not completely out of the question, but quite difficult for him to score with Volfred here. And so with that, means that Cacao's attacks may be somewhat one-dimensional, maybe a little too predictable for Anor. Can he still find a way to get the job done, though? As right now, once again, waiting for Messenger Imp to return, and here he is. And here you see Cacao trying to clear out a safe pathway for Messenger Imp to make it through using that sapling from Volfred. But that was not enough, and Anor has won it back, although Cacao swoops in just in time with Messenger Imp to intercept that throw. But Anor jumps in with the stowaway and drops Cacao down to 20. And do we recall which mastery Volfred has, or masteries? Because if it's not one that has rekindling, then Anor may just need one more score here. Anor experimenting once again with this whole bobbling, juggling the orb with a flying Tizo, or Raji rather, and proving relatively effective at that. Something we have never seen before, at least I've never seen it. But that was Anor's last defender. Oh, and Cacao has the extra damage on Messenger Imp, so yes, that is a more offensive Messenger Imp. Now Messenger Imp gone for this round, of course, after having plunged. And Anor still at full strength. Looking to attack here with the stowaway. Cacao tried to create a wall of aura all over the Pyre with his worm. And that throw is unblockable, but it looks short. It is. And Cacao defenseless here. Anor, oh, testing the theory. But that was an opportunity, and one that Anor did not capitalize on, perhaps as much as she could have, but maybe Cacao is as curious as I am to see, is this possible to score in the way that Anor is trying to do it, juggling the orb with her imp that has Black Hoof. She's already taken it halfway across the arena, but can she actually get it into the Pyre? Perhaps a little bit easier said than done, but she's awfully close. Seems to be just about right on top of it. Can she do it while she's still flying, or does she need to be standing still on the ground? Oh, man. I mean, if she can't get it there, I'm not sure it's possible. But she follows up with a teleporting stowaway to seal the deal.
Perhaps they do deserve their freedom after all.
GG. You technically don't ever have it?
This night.
Thanks, Cacao, for letting her test it. I mean, I figured it would at least... I thought it might have been possible, given how you can score with someone who has that cursed talisman if you pass the orb to them.
Until the next rite.
So I guess there is a difference between passing the orb versus juggling the orb like that when you have the cursed talisman. In one case, you can still score. You need to be standing right on top of the orb when you receive, or right on top of the Pyre when you receive it. But in the other case, that is still insufficient. Cursed rites on a cursed book. It is intimidating. It messes with your head. At first, it's just like, what? Don't think we've ever seen that before. Then turned into, hold on a second. She can actually cover some ground like this. So it was quite intriguing, at the very least. But let's reset ourselves here. And let us know, chat, if there's anything we'd like to see for the next one. Yeah, that would have been... It would have been pretty sweet. I wish it was possible to score like that. I feel like that's deserving. It's difficult enough to make that happen that I feel like if you can pull it off, you deserve to score in that case. And Nor turns Customize off. So that means randomize exiles, masteries, and talismans. Won't even get to see what those things are in advance. And Cacao says never to return tempers. You can turn Customize back on. Oh, wait, no, sorry. You turned Customize off, yes. It registered. Yeah, I saw it. No worries. You got it. Let's see. Oh, hold on, though. Oh, dear. Oh, no, but oh, yes. Ladies and gentleworms, brace yourselves. Because it is time for none other than Falcon Ron. Alright then. I'm sorry, Cacao. I'm afraid we will probably need to... Oh, actually, we have 3 songs lined up here, now that I think of it. Because we had one right as we were about to start the previous match, The Painful Way from Hades. So that one's actually top of the list. Then we have the Never to Return Tempers, although on this specific occasion, I believe we do need to overwrite all of those things, at least for this right here, because this is a special occasion. Ron is out of line. Ron is never out of line. Ron is never out of... Hold on. Do I need to give you a stern talking to? Ron is the god of RITE NITE. He is our overlord, our RITE NITE ruler. The sacred keeper of the pyres. By definition, there is no way for Ron to be out of line. All right, but hold on. Let me just make a quick little adjustment here. Let's see. Where is Ron? Oh, Ronnie boy. Where'd he go? There he is. Okay, let's see. So Nor is player 1. She's the one who's Falcon Ron. I mean, is she the one who's Falcon Ron, or are we all Falcon Ron in our hearts? Are we just all Falcon Ron? I will put it on a Nor's side. Okay, let's see. So we have that. We'll go with Dirty Deal and at least temporarily interject that one at the top of the queue. Then we'll hop into the other ones that have been accumulating. All right, and Customize off is fitting for that, I suppose, as well. All right, so the ultimate chaos match. Wouldn't have it any other way. Let's do it. And on the Isle of Kalamer as well, a random Isle of Kalamer. Chef's kiss. Cur, Worm, Infernor. The game has decided to tab out. That looks like that might be Orlek. It is for Cacao. Cacao may be frozen? Hold on.
I think he controls my team.
He's controlling your team. Hold on. Let's make sure that this... Hold on. Let's see. What about now? We good now? Think we're good now? Okay. Back to the match, in that case, or are we recreating the beginning? Okay, everyone, take your position, please. The imps will slowly move the orb back into the middle, maybe, possibly. Nah, okay. Shall I put us on the pause menu, give us a 3, 2, 1, go? Let's go for this, okay. So, I'll give you a 3, 2, 1, go, and then I'll hit resume. 3, 2, 1, go. Nor going in with the worm and just barely looked like that for a second there was going to go slightly wide, but does land for 11. That worm throw though definitely looks short. Cow. Orlek down, that is a painful sight to see, as that means 30 seconds before Cacao can come back. Although, whoa, okay, that throw apparently was still going in for 12 in that case, which means Cacao has a 1-point lead at the moment. Oh, and Blackheart for Talbert, of course. There just has to be a cursed talisman. Wouldn't have it any other way. Truly a maximum chaos match. Manor. Oh, does get the pass off there. At the last second before she got banished. Here's Orlek. He's banished, though. Cacaw's throw. Good here for, 18. Hold on, that means he has extra damage of some variety. Must be coming from a talisman, as didn't see the word Seize Chance pop up there. So there's something else that is boosting Cacaw's damage on Lady River. And Luminous Idol on Tamitha as well. That is a good pickup. Stunning Claim, although that's not really going to do much of anything besides just reduce the timer for Orlek, which I suppose does mean it's a slight benefit for Cacao, but the ideal play there is to make it such that you activate it right before your character comes back from banishment, making them the only character on the entire field able to move. And we're putting on some pressure here with Messenger Imp, though. And creating a dangerous portal at that. Cow. Tamitha. Now Orlek. Tamitha goes down here. Explosive Temper on Dalbert. Not usually a mastery you'd like to see. Then again, it is a defensive mastery, and given how Dalbert cannot pick up the orb, I suppose, why not? Orlek sacrifices himself, but that's not typically the type of trade you'd like to make given how long it takes for Orlek to return, although he has already come back. So Cacao must have something that's letting him bring back Orlek more quickly. Might he have the Worm Mastery that brings back a Banished Exile when that Worm gets a banishment? So we know Talisman-wise that he does not have the Web Lanthorn. Or at least he has Luminous Idol here on his harp. We know that much. And makes it in with that harp for 20 on this plunge. Anor. Throw, unblockable, but wide / short. Orlek, banished. But Cacao, once again here, good for a quick 4 from his worm. Anor. Cacao has it back. For a second there, it looked like he just didn't have the animation playing on Tamitha, which was odd. Just looked like she was floating without even flapping her wings at all. Nor speeds through the other way. Oh, it has Bright Wisp. Okay, not sure we had seen that before. Just Orlek back defensively as Tamitha plunged without any prayer beads. Now Lady River back as well. Oh, and Kerfang! So extra damage for Nor on that plunge. Little surprise from her. But Nor still some ground to make up here. And remember, Orlek has just 25 base damage, not the usual 30 from demons. So that means that Cacao still cannot finish this one with 1 score. We did see he had extra damage of some variety on Lady River. There is the 25 damage plunge, which means Anor is hanging on with 1 Pyre life. That throw is unblockable, and it is on target for 7 damage. Orlek banishes 1. His throw. Oh, he has Celestial Spike. He gives it up and gets it in for the winning plunge. GG.
Adversaries confidently thwarted. The rite is complete.
Well played.
Until the next rite.
I didn't even realize you had it until the very end there. All right, so that was our Falcon Run, right? Thrown in there from Anor's request, but now let's head back to... We had a few songs lined up. I think top of the list now was the Hades song request, The Painful Way. Yeah, okay. So let's get that going then. Before we forget... There we are. Okay. So song set and ready to go. We should turn off the in-game music, though. And we have another song set after this as well. But do we have anything else we'd like to do on top of that? Yeah, that black hoof on Dalbert. Don't like to see that, but the bright wisp on Lady River was definitely a nice addition. Anor good for a couple more, then she's looking to swap out, so heads up if anyone from chat would like to jump in here. Then Anor will be looking for someone to take her place in the not too distant future. Sounds like similar story for Cacao as well. So maybe looking for 2 more in that case. And of course, as he can hop in soon. Oh, customize. Let's turn that back on before I forget. All right. Let's hop in then. As I think it is just this music request.
The Nightwings versus the Accusers.
All right, so your team composition is up to you here.
Who shall conduct the rites?
And Anor goes for a power casting headwind. Oh, Cacao. That was great. I'm pretty sure that's what he meant. Hey, man. Lendl does get his fair share of hate. But you won't see that coming from Cacao. You won't see that coming from Cacao. No further questions, Your Honor. Typhoon bottle on Manly. So that means if everyone is banished on Cacao's side, Anor will be unable to sprint, jump, throw, or use any of their special abilities, and Anor is unfazed by that. Still goes with a meta, quick throwing, power casting, or rather, quick throwing, banishing throwing, Jodariel. And oh, look at this. Cacao. With a canned Singularity Dalbert in the last spot, and the music picks up just in time for us to start this next ride, and both players starting off with the big power casts. Lendl taking out 2 of the defenders, and nearly making it in. Well shielded there from Cacao, though. That leaves just Tizo for Anor. Jody back. I do appreciate how Anor is, of course, playing as the Nightwings and using exclusively Nightwings characters, as she throws this one in for 30 with Jody. Cacao, of course, representing the Accusers, and is, of course, using the Accusers' captain, Lendl. So, thematically fitting in that way. Here is Lendl. Retreats back behind the safety of the sapling. Lendl banished, though. Jody rampages through with that infinite stamina. Oh, but the bottled void on Dalbert was inescapable. And the tiny little cur takes down Jody. Anor eyeing the portal with Hedwyn, but he's stopped. Lendl banished, though, for Cacao. Jody through the portal, getting that infinite stamina and throwing it in. 30 damage here as well. Both players going for those big power casts. But Cacao jumping over and shielding against them. Jody just looking for the stamina after going through that portal. Giving her functionally a large speed boost. Refreshing it here. But the throws, although blocked, banishes the defender, clearing out a little bit of space for that follow-up attempt. Good for just 11 damage, but it does drop Cacao down to 29 Pyre Life, which means a full damage Jody score can reduce all the Pyre Life, but that's not of concern right now. What is of concern is Anor is powerless to stop this score. Although the throws from Kurz are 5 less damage than the plunges from Kurz, that was just a 15 damage score against an unguarded Pyre. So Anor not too concerned about that one. She retreats with Hedwyn. And getting cornered a bit by Lendl here, who is pursuing aggressively. And shoulder smashes Jody. Does eventually go down. Now it's Hedwyn through the portal. He goes for the throw. And that's not enough to trigger the rekindling, but it does give Anor a little bit of Pyre Life back, so she's back up to 92 at this point. And now one score for Anor almost surely would be enough to trigger that rekindling that Cacao has. Cacao, though, plunging with Lendl. And Lendl may have had some leech as well. As now, once again, we're at a state where Jody would need score to trigger the rekindling, but there it is. Now we are onto the second life bar for Cacao, and that means next score for Anor could be the decider. Big implosion, though. Once again, the Nomads trading casts. Jody waits for the power cast to fly past her. But Delbert's still able to stop her, chasing her down. Well, meanwhile, Tizo takes out almost the entirety of Cacao's team and sets up a dangerous portal. The Anor tries to go through here, does get blocked, but has it back with Jody. Now she's banished, though. Cacao setting up the sapling on top of that portal to cover it up. Lendl retreats. Oh, but can't get to the safety of the sapling in time. And Anor back through that portal. Cacao waits for the reinforcements and gets them. Lendl trying to find a safe place. But Anor pursuing aggressively with Jody. Banishes one. And plunges for the winning score.
The night wings prevail. 'Twas as though the scribes themselves stood by their side.
What's up, Tark? How are you? What, you don't recognize this?
End this night's proceeding.
Tark, this is the new Mass Effect 3 challenge that I was going to give us next week. Can't you tell?
Until the stars align.
GG. That last one was Cacao, or do you want to do one more? One more? Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Let me double check our song here. Do have another one lined up. Let's see. It was it the Never to Return Tempers? I think that's what it was. There we are. Sorry, Hades songs. Back to Pyre here.
From... 'Cause I... 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 'C
So we have the song, but that's it as of this moment. Anything else we would like to do for this next one? And what looks to be the last one between Anor and Cacao, for what that's worth. If there is anything we'd like to see between those two in particular. Not seeing anything at the moment, though, so maybe we'll just let them take whatever they'd like here. In which case, let's get started.
The Night Wings shall now face
Well,
the accusers.
well.
Welcome.
We did see a match between these two at the Pit of Elith once before, earlier today. Both players did, in fact, choose to go the more creative approach with how they opted to score. So we shall see if they go for the more simple, straightforward strategy or something a little more unorthodox. Alright, and it is a Prayer Beads Pamatha in the first spot for Anor, so she will come back from banishment if she plunges. Whereas on Cacao's side, he takes Udmilda with the Crone's Loop so he can transform all of Anor's exiles into defenseless howlers once during this rite. Also took some leech on her as well. Anor breaking out Nutrition Stick Volfred. Feels like we haven't seen her use him much today. Actually seen a lot more sap play from Cacao, I think. Up to this point, at least. And Web Lanthorn on Lendl for Cacao, as we were saying, his go-to character in many ways. But perhaps I spoke too soon, because Palmas is sap number 2 for Anor in this match. I believe we saw her go the quick throwing route, so that may be more of an offensive sap in that case. Well, to be fair, Anor with a Nutrition Stick, she can get quite aggressive with the plunges in that case, or even just setting up a closer range throw with Volfred, and then definitely going to see more of the long distance throws if Anor is to push forward with Palmas, her second sap. Then finally, a bit of an unusual Raji setup there for Cacao, as that was an extra bit of aura radius on his talisman. And here we go for what looks to be the final showdown between Anor and Cacao for today. everyone down on Anor's side, and oh, but Cacao not quick enough on the throw there. So Anor gets back defensively. Series of banishments, no less. Cacao trying to go off the wall with a jump. Some of his exiles get banished, but not the crone. So he follows up with the 25 damage plunge from Udmilda. No prayer beads on her, though, so she is gone for this round. So numbers advantage to Anor here. Lendl thinks about it. Retreats, well, not gonna get any more characters on Cacao's side. Oh no. What has he done? What has he done? Cacao. How could you? Okay, well, I wasn't sure if it was intentional or not. I'm getting the sense that it may not have been, actually. But, yeah, so you went through a portal that took you outside the bounds of the arena. In case that wasn't clear, that blinking orb you see in the top left corner is an indication that Lendl does, in fact, have the orb for Cacao right now. He is just well out of bounds at the moment. And at this stage, Cacao may need to pass that orb back to Raji, unless he can find a way out of no man's land with Lendl. Anor does have Nutrition Stick with Volfred, so Anor may be able to get over there. Yes, can, in fact, and has gotten rid of Lendl. Can Anor retrieve the orb, though, is the other question in that case. Volfred has returned, or she used her switch with the harp salute with Pamitha, so now it's Pamitha who's trying to track down the orb in that corner there. Guess that's one way to escape the downside. Manly's attempt to find some kind of machine that can traverse the seemingly insurpassable barrier that marks the distinction between downside and commonwealth. Cacao and Anor have found a way to bulldoze through that. But alas, we are back here. Pamitha for Anor. Almost snuck past the defenders there. Oh, and Cacao goes on a rampaging banishment spree, getting rid of all of Anor's defenders, setting up this uncontested 15 damage throw. Pamitha tries to go off the wall, but unsuccessful this time. Cacao, that throw is unblockable, but can't get it off in time. But does bring back Udmilda, and Lendl is the one that actually finishes the job here. Dropping Anor down to 20. Now, I do believe she has a reasonable bit of rekindling there. Might be on the order of 20, as she does have 2 saps. Anor throws this one in for 25 with her quick throwing sap there, I believe. That was Palmas. But Cacao has his Crone Salute, transforming all of Anor's exiles into defenseless Howlers, setting up this score. Oh, but it's 60. It's 60 on the second light bar coming from the rekindling there. So this is far from over. But remember, Cacao also has Leech on Udmilda, so did get some Pyre life back there. Pamitha, oh, did go off the wall and around the defenders, but couldn't loop around quickly enough to make it back into the Pyre. Now almost a double banishment there. Can't sneak through with Lendl, though. Nor with Pamitha. Off the wall again. Switches, though, into Volfred. But he's not quick enough to avoid the defender. Down now. Back with Udmilda. Speed straight into Palmas, though. Anor defenseless. But gets Volfred back. And right next to the Pyre she is. With enough time to throw, no less. Udmilda versus Pamitha. Pamitha wins out. and makes it all the way through here. So Nor building some momentum. As we were saying before, that was a lot of rekindling she received. At this point, she actually has more Pyre life than Cacao does. So how the tables have turned. Oh, and Lendl nearly off the wall there. But huge implosion nearly got 2 of Anor's exiles. But only 1. Empha has also returned. And she switched, and therefore sacrificed Palmas to take her place. Now she shoulder smashed, though. A little bit of karma there for Pamitha. Wolfred using that nutrition stick for the extra blinking distance. He's banished, but Palmas moves in, and he has that quick throw, which is dangerous. Udmilda. Too much momentum. Cacao tries to fly over. Does momentarily get Udmilda back, but she's banished soon thereafter. Comes back once again and banishes one of the defenders. Now banishes the other one of Anor's characters. Just Pamitha back now. And now no one. So Cacao, got greedy once again. Had the opening there with Lendl, but perhaps was trying to get in with Udmilda for the extra damage and the leech instead, but ended up with nothing. Here is Udmilda, though. Lendl this time is blocked, and Udmilda is banished. Udmilda brought back. And finds a way through. Lunges for 30, and leeches 15. Which means that Cacao has now retaken the lead. And he does not have Udmilda in this round, but once he gets her back, she does have enough damage to finish this one. In just 1 score. There's the quick throw, and from some ranges from Zaps can be unblockable, although for Anor, she still needs 2 scores, and as we were just saying, 1 Udmilda score, at least if it's full damage that is all that Cacao needs here. So Anor needs to be careful, as Cacao will be looking to put on the additional pressure now. Amitha switches in to Palmas. Quick throw, but not quick enough. Here is Udmilda. Already used that Crone salute to set up what was more or less the automatic score, so no longer has that luxury. Well, quick throw from Nor, and this one does land. Drops Cacao down to 10, and that means at this point, next score may be the one that wins it. Cacao does need to be a little picky, though. Udmilda is the only exile with enough damage to finish it in 1 score for him. Anyone else would require 2. He's looking to bring her back here, and does so right in front of the Pyre, setting up the winning plunge.
Or you could say they managed to avoid it.
GG.
The rite is ended.
Well played, you two. Great match.
Until the stars align.
All right. And I believe we heard Cacao and possibly Anor as well, saying that that was going to be their last one. I know Core had expressed interest in jumping in here. Core versus CPU. Do we have anyone else to go up against Core here? Let me send him the invite. I would generally prefer to get others in from chat whenever possible. Also, every single time that Core and I happen to go up against each other, every single time, there is always a triple worm request. So do we have anyone else from chat who'd like to get in here? So as I said, in general, I'd like to get as many people in from chat as possible, and I can serve as a backup if necessary, but that may not be necessary. As, I mean, we may have some faces we've not seen for a while, some players we've not seen for a while, could potentially jump in. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Perhaps. Perchance. Oh? Could it be? Could it be? I mean, if you're up for it. It has been quite some time. Oh, true, and Imperic did go for the customize off. Nice. More than, again, at least. Honestly, it might be approaching 2 years at this point. And in all honesty, you might need to remind me what your ever-changing Steam name now is. Because I'm not sure oh, is it this? Okay. It might, it looks like it's actually predictable on this occasion. Not a new player. No, this is an old school player coming back after, yeah, over a year. I want to say it's close to 2 years at this point. Before the time of many of the people in chat. Yeah, that is very true. Following since April 2020. Yeah. In which case, probably more along the lines of 2 years at this point. Let's see, hold on. If you are in Discord, you seemed quiet. Hold on. I might bump you up a little bit. A little bit. I'm gonna bump up your volume a bit more. All right. Can you just talk a little bit more? I'm hoping that I've turned you up just enough that you are audible, but not blowing up speakers.
It appears to being audible.
Okay, I'm going to bump you a little bit more. There we go. That should be pretty good. Okay. Also, in your ever-changing names, what is the go-to nowadays?
Diavola is fine.
Diavola is fine? Okay. Yeah, in case anyone was ever wondering, the few occasions where I've said, when new people are hopping in, like, oh, you know, should we refer to you by your Twitch name, your Steam name, your Discord name, so on and so forth, here is a culprit numero uno, who deliberately would change his name every week just to mess with me. But alas, good to have you back, Diavola. How are you? How have you been?
I've been well. I've been pretty good.
It has been a while, but it's good to hear from you again.
How have you and Taylor been doing?
We've been doing. I, unfortunately, a couple months ago or so, I'd been overworked my voice, lost my voice for quite some time, and been slowly working my way back, but starting to feel, quote-unquote, normal once again, thankfully. So, happy to be back in a more of a full-fledged state.
Good. I'm happy for you.
Nice. Well, let's see. We have, and remind me, Diavola, do you prefer keyboard, mouse, or controller?
I prefer keyboard mouse, but I do have a controller that I can use.
Okay, no, that should be fine, because core will usually go controller. Okay, great. So, and for triumvirates, what would we like to do here?
I will go with the chastity.
Okay, nice. So we got the core here.
And I'll just do pirates.
Okay, gotcha. Diavola. Alright, let's see. No more Nightwings. No more Accusers. Yes on the Chastity. And yes on the Pyre Hearts. There we go. Alright, Diavola, I do need to ask you then. When is the last time you have played Pyre?
At least more than a year ago.
Okay. No worries. No worries. crazy bit of history, indeed. It has been quite some time, but very good to have you back. All right, so we had a customized offer quest, but do we want to go straight into that? Or do we want to have a warm-up match, given now it has been, as we were just saying, perhaps over a year since the last time Devo has played? Nah, straight into the madness?
Yeah, turn the customize off. The best way to learn is to dive right in, right?
Exactly, perfect. All right, let's do it then. Straight into the action we go. Oh, also we should, although that being said, we should probably double check and make sure that the keyboard mouse controls are what you think they are. Before we get too carried away, let's just make sure this makes sense.
I prefer the WASD to controls WASD.
Okay, anything else beyond that?
Nope.
Okay, perfect. Let's do it then.
The Pyre Hearts.
Log champs indeed. All right, so Core ends up with a sap, a harp, and a worm. Diavola, harp, and double cur.
Banished in an instant.
Of course, don't know what the masteries are, don't know what the talismans are. But Diavola is back. After what we think is at least over a year, possibly on the order of about 2 years. Core's throw lands here for 9. Diavola gets on it, but gets banished. 4. Putting in some work here with the Deluge. But then Deluge is down. Zoxiana here for Diavola. Flies over, but blocked. Now banished. Core moving in that sapling. Core charges up that throw, but not quickly enough. Owen has Web Landthorn, Diavola does, on one of the curs, I think, and did bring back one of his exiles. Zoxiana gets the stamina back. Diavola, biding time. Makes the move, blocked, but not banished. Retreats. Now Core launching the attack. Rare Core scoring with a sap. What is this nonsense?
What do you mean?
Chat is a little taken aback, Core, apparently.
What is this slander?
Here's Diavola. Starts getting the stamina back. Oh, and almost snuck through there. Oh, and huge explosive temper cast. Deluge blocked. Attempt number 2. And that one is good. But what about the worm memes? Whoa. Just because it's a worm doesn't inherently mean it's a meme, okay? Oh, and... or almost enough to shield that one off. Oh, and Harp pushes his way through. Or locks down the orb with that sapling. Now moving in with the sap. But banished by Zoxiana. Diavola. Zoxiana saving the stamina here. Waiting for the right moment. Core has it back with his sap. Sidesteps. Shields it off, but lost the orb. Sidesteps again. Core playing with fire a bit here, though. Well shielded, but eventually does go down. Or the throw, just enough on it. Manly. Hiding behind those rocks there, and does have the range on that throw. And from that distance might still be unblockable. Oh, and Diavola holding on with 2 Pyre life here. Of course, especially with customized off, there's always that chance of an unexpected right light, but Core, oh no, with the 360 throw to finish it off.
Good game.
GG.
The rite is done.
All right, let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
Okay, let's turn customize off, but let us know, chat, if there's anything else we'd like to do customization-wise. Is there anything else we had queued up that we did not do for that previous one? Are we all settled and starting with a clean slate here at this point? I think we might be. Isn't BM by definition dishonorable? Anything we'd like to see for this one? Divola, which exiles, which classes would you say, if you can recall, would be the ones you feel most comfortable with? Like, if you were to have your choice, starting a match for the first time in a long time, what would you go with?
Well, demons, obviously.
Demons? Okay, okay. Hirota puts us at Follow Solium. And Grand Ceremony is our song. Okay. Did I just go past it? I must have, didn't I? No? Oh, no. It's further down. And now I've gone past it again, though. There it is. I can read, I swear. Alright, that has beaten In the Flame to the punch. But that one just remind me, and we can do it for the next one. Okay, so we have our song, we have our arena. And we're just too speedy. Alright, looks like this may be it, though. So, song and arena, but otherwise the teams are entirely up to you two. Channel points are bugged. How's it going, Rotom? In what way, might I ask? Might be worth refreshing, maybe?
Welcome.
Can't redeem your points. That is odd.
Who shall conduct the rites?
Bringing back all the old school players here. Alright, it is... I think that was a Luminous Idol Hamatha, so she'll get all of her stamina back when she picks up the orb. That's the first selection here for Core.
What was super meta back when you were playing?
When I was playing, well, perhaps I'll show you.
Oh, look out!
If I can remember.
Or doesn't count, but...
What do you mean, Orlando? That's exactly why he's the meta and why
Well, of
why
course.
the unspoken rule is that you don't play as him. Anyway,
Well, he was banned in our recent tournaments.
yeah. Makes sense. There we go.
That's right, the Orlick meta.
And it is a quick throwing, vanishing throw, Ignarius. With Brazen Manner, no less.
Messenger.
We have Lanthorn Messenger in the second spot for Core there. Alright, Core's already scheming ahead to the next one. I have a feeling. I have a sense of what Core is scheming up there.
We talk about this every day.
I think you might be able to pull this one. I will say no more. But I think this strat might be new enough.
What strat? I just want to play.
I don't know. I'm sure it's just a totally random, arbitrary Glade of Lou request that Core is planning up for the next one, you know? It's not like he already has an entire team that he has in mind for it.
We have to show the old school players all the new tech that's been.
And power casting Lendl in the last spot for Diavola. And here we go. Sets up the preemptive Brazen Manor. The Core still on the orb here at the moment. Moving in with Panther, no, swaps over. And plunges with his 40 damage demon. That was Ignarius. But no prayer beads on him, so he is now gone for this round. Well, Panther sidesteps, but is not quick enough to make it in there. Diavola has the banishment. Barker switches over to Ignarius. Back to Barker. Two-pronged attack, but Barker goes down. Whoa, that was a quick turn of events there. As Core makes it in for 15 with Messenger in. Now he is gone for this round, though. Harp push. Makes it all the way through for 20. And that, especially when you add it on top of that 40 damage from that initial score from Core, and that is a lot of momentum. And potentially enough for just one more score from Ignarius.
Well done.
GG.
Overwhelmed their adversaries utterly. The ceremony is complete.
All right, let's head on back. And we already have a few things lined up for this next one. I did see that. That was odd. For a second there, we saw at the top of the screen, Barker for Diavola was losing stamina, even though it looked like he was walking in slow motion. Okay, so let's see. We had, what, In the Flame, and we had the Glade, I think, were the two things we had lined up here. Let's turn off the in-game music. Go back to Tariq Bot. I almost spelled that wrong. That's wrong. Wait. Did I get the... Also, hold on. Spelling, but also... There it is. Okay. Oh, and loop. Okay, so let's see. We have the arena, we have the song. Did we have anything else for this one, or is that it? Looks like that's it. So let's get started. This is true. This is true. There have been civil wars, there have been cups, championship tournaments in the meantime. Wait, hold on. What is this canned singularity the Core is using here? Consensus opinion being that it is one of, if not the worst talismans in the entire game. yet he voluntarily takes it. Diavola, oh, going for one of the rings on Ignarius there. So assuming he takes the other one as well, we'll get Infinite Salmon at the beginning of the round. The two characters that have those rings. Or then going for the extra starting Pyre life on Snadra. Alright, and there is the second ring bearer. It's Hedwyn. So those are the two that will start off with that big stamina boost. Last one is an exploding Gilman for core. And finishes with extra radius on Manly's aura. So here we go. Stowaway down. Core back on it here with the Stowaway. She's banished though. And Sakor settles for the 15 damage plunge with Gilman, though with no prayer beads, he'll be gone for this round. Stowaway banished as well. Snadra 2. That means Core defenseless here. And time for Diavola to throw this one in. Cuts it ever so slightly short, 1 damage shy of the maximum. See if that becomes a factor later on. Oh, and there's the Can Singularity dispossessing Diavola. Does go for the throw here once again. Oh, but the last second interception. And Core is back in with the Stowaway for 20. Gilman explodes, taking out Ignarius. Unblockable worm throw, though. Does land here, and with Seize Chance active, that is good for slightly more damage than usual. They trade casts. The Stowaway escapes Hedwyn. Oh, but the Stowaway comes back and throws it in for 19. Stowaway triggers the false step, but is intercepted on that throw. She'll try again here. Jumps in this time for 20. That does drop Diavola down to 7, but I do believe we will see, I want to say it was 10 rekindling coming from Manly. Big explosion, though. Clearing out the way for Snadra to throw it in, and there is the rekindling. It is 10. So second life bar revealed for Diavola. And now 1 score, perhaps all that Core will need here. Stowaway comes back, banishes Diavola's team, and hops in for the winning plunge.
Sit down.
GG.
I think I am sufficiently outmatched.
No worries. Core is, that in particular, is Core's, I don't know, would you say go-to team, Core?
I wouldn't necessarily say it's my go-to, it's a team comp that I run.
Alright, let's...
Just because Bottle Void was not considered very good. So you have to change that.
He was on a mission to rewrite history.
Actually, that's what the history books have, but the real thing is I wanted to make False Step good.
Oh, really? That was the origin of it.
That was actually the origin of it.
Okay. That is true. Core is also the runner-up of our most recent tournament, though it has been quite a while since we had our last tournament. And so, Diavola, do you want to stick around? Do you want to swap out? How are you feeling?
I'm gonna stick around for a bit unless
Okay.
someone else wants to come in.
All right, no worries then. Let
What's
us-
your Discord profile picture, by the way? What is that?
Oh, that would take a minute to explain, but I'll find an image real quick.
In the meantime, chat, let us know if there's anything you'd like to see for the next one. I'll otherwise reset us here. We might have actually had a song request, because I think we had a few that came one right after the other. And we had to put one in the queue. Hold on, we did Grand Ceremony, right? We did In the Flame. Done Glade. Maybe we have done everything. Okay, maybe we are all caught up in that case. Not seeing anything from chat at the moment. Let us know if you do have anything in mind. Oh, Iberta is choosing Exiles. Triple Cur. For both players, I assume, then? Triple Cur for both players confirmed. All right. And Glorious Tradition. In that case, go for the Fate theme. Exile request has no input field? I am not sure why that would be.
Shall confront the chat.
I have not changed anything on that request.
Welcome. Who shall conduct the rites?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't changed it. But it is Triple Cur here. And Core will start with a rookie. They believe it was Prayer Beads in the first spot. Legendary Talisman for Barker, in the case of Diabola. And Core, was that a right light he just took for a little bit of rekindling?
Yes, it was.
Oh, okay. Going for the 20 life on the second life bar for Core in that case. We saw Diavola go for the rings on a previous match. Did so, I believe, on that occasion with a demon and a nomad. This time, of course, we know it's going to be triple curs. And if you take one ring, presumably, the intention is always to take the second one. Alright, gotcha. We have some stuff lined up for the next one. From another old-timer.
Another old timer. Who might that be?
Ponzer. If I'm getting the different Twitch versus Discord names and Steam names correctly. But now you guys are testing my memory here. Older man. Oh, an old timer. Doesn't mean you're old per se. Just an old school player.
In honor of the scribes,
And it's Core getting a start with the 20 damage plunge. There is the legendary talisman. Putting in work there for Diavola. It means that the cast stays on the ground for longer, which is easy to discount just how effective that can be, but it can sneak up on you. Definitely can catch you off guard. But Core going for the explosive temper, so similarly, also going with a more defensive cast-centric setup. And has the banishing... Did he just banish 2 with 1 throw? That is pretty unusual. Oftentimes, even when you see characters right next to each other on the receiving end of one of those banishing throws, it usually only banishes 1, but I'm fairly certain Core got 2 for 1 on that occasion. Diavola sneaks through and plunges for 20 here. But that means no Barker in this round. So here's Core, trying to hip-hop around the defender, and does. Core, first on the orb. Oh, off the wall to land the banishing throw. And that is far easier said than done at the Fall of Solium, where the walls are usually not that big of a factor. Diavola snipes 1 cur. But then the throw takes out the other. Core takes out a second cur. Now looking to sneak around, perhaps off the wall once again with the banishing throw. Once he's gotten a taste of it, he just can't give it up. So now a duel of casting. But Diavola does end up with it and does end up making a run for the Pyre, but eventually gets blocked. Core still has a cur by Diavola's Pyre, quickly taken care of though. Core cornered. Just barely caught by that cast though. And I think Diavola won the race, but in doing so, meant that he was the one that got banished. Banished here, though. 4. Back to Diavola. Moves in with 1 cur, then switches over to the other. But still blocked. Orb remains unclaimed, though. 4 has it recovered. Banishing throw does not hit anyone. 4 tries again. Gets 1, and gets it back. Banishes once more, but then gets banished. Diavola regroups, and makes a dash for it. Stamina back, but blocked. Now Core's turn. Always seems to find that banishing throw cur. Does make it in for 7 on this occasion, which means Core could finish this with 1 score here. Goes for the throw once more. And no defenders back until Diavola does get. The cur's respawning now. Or once again, looking for those banishing throws. That one makes it in, but Diavola holds on with 1 Pyre life. So you're saying there's a chance? Hops through for another 20 damage here. Four. Diavola back on it. No rookie after he plunged. So it's going to come down to Dalbert and Barker. And of course, with 1 Pyre life, no margin for error. But can it be done? Dalbert starts making a move. Finds an opening. And seizes upon it. Diavola's starting to make things interesting here. Double banishment. Core needs 1, Diavola needs 2. But not this time. Numbers advantage, though, to Core, as Diavola did plunge, and now no defenders back. Oh, Core goes for the BM, and for a second there you thought Diavola was going to get someone back just in time to punish him for it, but does, in fact, get the winning score.
It's very good. Good game.
Good game.
Thus
GG.
end this night's proceedings. Until the next rite.
All right, well, let us know, chat, if there's anything we'd like for the next one. In fact, we do have some stuff lined up here. Hold on, let me just double check. Sermon intro is going back on. We have the boat, and we have Path to Glory. I don't think we've seen a boat yet today. We've seen multiple of several other arenas, but not boat. Not any boat. Path to Glory. Anything else there? That looks like it for the time being. But of course, could still do Exiles, could still do Talismans or Masteries, if any of those things are of interest. Otherwise, we'll hop in.
Stand forth, exiles. You are gathered at the hulk of Horus. Here you may yet prove your worth. We soon shall see who is the most deserving.
Thanks for stopping by, Barrick.
Stand ready. The chastity, stand ready. Now we shall get started.
Alright, so no requests affecting your team composition here. That much is entirely up to you. Core, going Nutrition Stick Volfred. Time to rock the boat. We shall see. That may just be the case. I mean, I'd like to know where you got the notion.
Only their class was called a rock.
But there are probably some talismans that are rocks, right? I can think of at least one. Power casting Lendl for Diavola. Alright, Core goes the Leech route, notably not a rock. Then Crone Salute, so that means Diavola will be able to transform all of Core's Exiles into defenseless Howlers once during this match. As Core doubles down on the Leech with the most stylish man in the downside. And there is the rock I was thinking of. Diavola breaks it out, so maybe we will, in fact, rock the boat after all. Bolfred. Charging up the throw. Looks like he is in range. The question is perhaps more so, is it unblockable from that range? Diavola says, not gonna matter. I'm gonna snipe him. But a series of snipes and whoa! Stowaway over the puddle and into the pyre. And complete chaos in the middle of the arena, but apparently it's Diavola with it now. Typhoon Bottle or Numbing Gust active, but not enough to stop Diavola from plunging here for 25. Spindle with those big power casts, but he is eventually taken out. That means Diavola defenseless for the time being. And from that rage, that sap throw may just have been unblockable indeed. Or trying to lock down the orb with the sapling, but Diavola wasn't falling for it. And tries to teleport to the orb, but goes down, and now poor defenseless until Bolfred returns here. Huge exploding sapling, though, takes out the entirety of Diavola's team. Setting up this 25 damage throw from Bolfred. Oh, and once again, Stowaway over the puddle gets a little bit of extra airtime, and just enough to take her all the way into the pyre. Lendl returns, but so does Gareth, and there is the winning plunge.
Good game, good game.
Adversaries must be crying tears of shame.
GG.
The rite is done.
Yeah, definitely several jumps there that looked like they would fall short, but the puddle just gave that extra little boost. Alright, but let's reset here. Unless there is something else we'd like to see for the next one, in which case, let us know, chat.
And I can also get out if anyone wants to jump in.
Alright, if anyone else wants to swap in, Core is volunteering to pass over the baton. Shall we consider a classic rematch, the likes of which we haven't seen for about 2 years? If
Around for 2 years.
If Ponzer is available and Diavola is good to stick around still. I don't know if Ponzer's up for that.
Or you can play him, Lids.
That would also be a matchup we haven't seen in quite some time as well. Either way. Anyone from chat who would like to jump in and or requests from chat for things we'd like to see for this next one?
Give me just 1 minute, I'll be right back.
Okay, no worries. Four puts us at the pits. Okay. And goes Knights of the Sea. That is, of course, his team's theme. Anything else we'd like to do? Any other crazy requests we want to have while Diavola is away? Quickly! Alright. We do have a request for the Pit of Melith and for Knights of the Sea for the song, but nothing affecting your team composition at all. And so, let's get started.
The Pyre Hearts versus the Chastity. Welcome. Who shall conduct the rites?
Core will start by warming it up a bit with the Gilman, the extra jumping distance from the legendary talisman.
Now listen, I know this literally hasn't worked out for me once yet, but
But hold on. Hear him out. It's only a matter of time, you see. Core takes the extra starting Pyre life with Snadra. While Diavola goes double demon.
I mean, normally I'd go crone here, but it's kind of go crone.
Bertrude.
Core does lock in Bertrude, going for the leech there. And oh goodness. Oh goodness. You saw the two demons and you wondered if we might see an appearance from the third. And there it is. Triple demon for Diavola.
A swift
Here we go.
recovery now begins.
Gilman down. Orb remains unclaimed here. Diavola gets rid of Bertrude. And Snadra as well. 4 with 1 banishment. Then loses Gilman, loses everybody now. Though quickly gets a banishment in front of his own Pyre, and suddenly he has the numbers advantage after for a second there it looked like it was going to be Diavola finding himself in that position.
First dousing.
And it is Core, starting us off with a 15 damage plunge from Gilman. But no prayer beads on him means he's gone for this round. No, not Ignatius. And of course, that is one of the downsides of the triple demons. They have humongous auras, especially across all three of them when they're clustered close together. They do have a long respawn time with relatively low hope. So you do sometimes find yourself defenseless.
An unimpressive thrust.
Quick throw there from Core, good for just 13, but it was unblockable. Oh, and Jody just barely caught the edge of that cast. Gilman taking names here. And looking to add to his list. But instead, he'll throw it in and bounce off the wall afterward or something like that. Either way, it's 15 damage. Gilman just trying to catch one of those demons to clear out a little bit of space before he starts making his move offensively, although he tries to go off the wall. Isbeleth, banished, or drifting away and realizes might need to plunge instead and does so to take the win.
yes,
Most excellently done this time, I must admit.
GG.
The rite is complete.
All right, let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
All right, anything we'd like to see or do for this one here? Oh. Or perhaps voluntarily, question mark? Turn and customize off on his side.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll randomize our arena and song unless we hear otherwise from chat. Not seeing anything right now, though, so of course, if that is the case, we'll just have them take whatever they'd like. And looks like that may be the case. So let's get started.
The Pyre hearts,
Did I reset the arena, didn't I?
the chastity,
Pretty sure we just got a random bit of Melee.
welcome. Who shall conduct the rites?
And before you pick your third exile devil, if you could scout, just so I can see generally what I have.
Yes, of course.
Think I saw a sap was the first one there, for whatever that's worth. Diavola starts with a defensive Barker in the first spot. Oh, now voluntarily takes a Cursed Talisman with Deluge in the second spot. That is a bold strategy, Cotton.
Could you scout?
Yeah. Oh, whoops.
Alright, so we have what, a...
Can you just click on the zap?
What's that? Use...
There you go. Okay, so Banishing Throws, looks like full Rekindling.
All right side, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, click on Zoxiana.
Yeah, oh yeah, Zoxiana's hiding behind your Chastity
Way at the
Sigil.
bottom right, way on the bottom right. There's two of them that are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Web Lanthorn. Okay, I think those are the two blasts.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I think it's Sudden Blast and Greater Blast, right? Yeah. Okay. And then do Zoxiana. The one
Wait,
left
can I...
of it.
Oh,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah. Frozen Soul.
Salute. Is that all left side?
No,
it's not.
Okay. Okay, it's decent, yeah. So it's everything but the quickness. Okay, I'm good. Thank you.
Alright.
Diavola goes for an all-right side Zoxiana with the last selection. And here we are. Whoa, Explosive Temper taking out 2 from that cast. Or just barely avoided banishment, at least initially, but is now defenseless. At least until Volfred returns, but not quickly enough. Sup is 20 damage plunge. That was Barker, but now he is gone for this round. Wolfred has the banishing throws, so that is a threat. Though this time he throws it in directly for 19. We did also see one of the talismans that Core had, the Frozen Soul, deals 10 damage to Diavola's Pyre at the very beginning of the match, which is why you saw Diavola starting at 90 rather than 100. Does Core have that kind of range? He might. Looks like he could. That time for the full 25. Diavola first to the orb. Now it ends up within the safety of that sapling. Core moving in for the throw, but that might be unblockable when it's that close. Harp versus Harp. Series of banishments, but it looks like Diavola is the one who emerges from that. Barker down. Big cast from Vorfrit, and the throw is brief enough that it is insufficient. Diavola running out of Pyre life here. Well-timed cast, though. The Black Hoof we saw means that Deluge cannot pick up the orb. Oh, and that cast just barely caught Barker. Oh, and hold on. Core goes bouncing off the wall unpredictably, throwing off the accuracy on his throw. And Diavola lives to fight another day. Zoxiana, cut off. Barker back defensively. That throw does not have the range to score, but it can banish. It goes off the wall to do so. Diavola not gonna let it happen this time, though. Couple of banishments from Zoxiana. Using that fell swoop aggressively. Or swaps back into Volfred. But once again is quickly taken care of by Diavola. Zoxiana, she's down. But here's Barker. Gets the stamina back. Can't quite make it past the first defender, though. And Diavola defenseless here. At least until Zoxiana returns, she gets rid of one of the attackers. Here comes Volfred. Fell swoop gets rid of him. Zoxiana just barely sidesteps one cast. Off the wall she goes, but she lands into the welcoming aura of Barker. Once again, Core advancing here with Volfred. Banished. Harp versus Harp. Core the first to it, though. Swaps into Vorfrit. She's banished. Oh, but a triple banishment on her cast. Gets rid of the entirety of Diavola's defenses. Tries to go off the wall, though, does Core. And that didn't line up. So Diavola, once again, runs out of stamina. But gets it back just in time for the little hop to make it in for 20. But that means no Zoxiana. And we did see Diavola leaning heavily on her in that previous round, both defensively and offensively, but now no one back defensively, so opportunity here for Barker, but he runs out of stamina at the wrong time. Big banishment, though, with the explosive temper. Remember, the Deluge cannot pick up the orb, but he, once again, gives Diavola the banishment he's looking for, but he can't accept the orb, can't get the pass, because he can't hold it. Zoxiana switches once again back into Volfred. Tries to shield off the defender, but can't do so long enough. Barker banished, though. And Bertrude once again bouncing off the walls unpredictably. Barker. It's going to have to come down to him for Diavola, but he's down. And several seconds before he returns, Core once again trying the off-the-wall strat. Couldn't quite get the angle he was looking for, though. Can't avoid that cast either. And Core bounces off the wall and in for the winning plunge. GG.
The rite is ended.
All right, well played, you two. Let's head on back.
Until the stars
And anything else we'd like to see for this one?
Vids versus.
Oh, and Emeralds. Thanks for stopping by. Good to see you. Doing some multiplayer Pyre. How are you? Taking requests from chat at that, if there's anything that we would like to see for this one. If not, then of course we can have them take whatever they'd like. And if there is anyone from chat who'd like to jump in here, let us know. I think we had talked about Core volunteering to swap out for someone else if there is anyone who would like to get in on the action. But seeing no takers and seeing no requests, and so proceed we shall.
The Pyre hearts shall take on the chastity. Welcome.
Core does still have customized turned off here. So you saw he got a randomized harp in his first spot. It was Tamitha with extra throwing damage. Fell Swoop. Winged Fury, so that's at least a little bit on the right side. But it
Yes, fell swoop build, yeah. It's very
50-50 split left and right.
good. Very good harp.
Diavola countering with a harp of his own, in this case an exploding Zoxiana. Now goes for power casting Lendl. We'll check the scouting report. That might be two nomads. In fact, it is. It's Lendl and it's Hedwyn.
Oh no.
Core not pleased to see that.
There's like two sacred bonds, I think.
A Sacred Bond there
Have sacred bond.
on Lendl. And I think... Oh, he has
They're
prayer
the
beads on
exact
Hedwyn.
same. They're exact same except for the talisman.
Wow. And the first mastery on the right side also does not stack, right? The one that...
Yeah, it also doesn't say. Hate to see it.
Choose someone.
Lunging Nomads and Tam. And the Nomads with duplicative, non-stacking abilities. So, definitely an odd one. I do like the
Okay.
color when
Now this,
Diavola doubles down on one of the classes.
I've got a good feeling about this time. All right.
Okay.
Check it.
Now hear us out here. What if?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
What if?
What if-
You see what's happening? Like, what if? Just picture it. What if? What if it's Jody with extra presence?
I'm mistake last time was using Ignarius, obviously. I should have been using Jody all along.
Objectively, the superior demon, of course. Big power cast there from Lendl. They trade power casts, in fact. The Nomads do, and I get the feeling we're going to see a lot of that, as that is, in many ways, the strengths of both teams.
Hearts are first to strike their adversary's flame.
But it's Core starting us off with a 13 damage throw. The Fell Swoop is also a great casting tool, as we see right there. Core using it to take out the entirety of Diavolo's defenses, and that is the extra damage coming from that talisman that we were seeing as we were checking the scouting report on Core's squad. Oh, and everyone down once again. That Fell Swoop. Incredibly powerful in the right circumstances. And when all of the characters are bundled up close together, then that is exactly what Fell Swoop is looking for. There is Headwind, plunging for 20, and he is the one with the prayer bead, so he has returned. Shoulder Smash, though, deletes Tamitha. Power casts. Taking each other out. It's Diavola with the advantage here. Zaxiana makes it in for 20. And of course, Tamitha has that shield on when she uses her cast.
Tamitha threw it in.
And she has that extra damage on the throw that drops Diavola to just 13. So one score, potentially all that Core needs here. And Tamitha going on a banishing spree, but eventually she does go down. Zaxiana for Diavola. Taken out. Here's Jody. And the absolute chaos coming from Tamitha. The quick throw, but it's not enough. Rushed as Diavola was getting a defender back. That means Diavola is potentially still in this.
Alas for Edwin.
Tamitha down to the cast. That Sacred Bond, Core using it to bring back his friends. Huge Fell Swoop, my goodness. The triple banishment. And the finishing throw.
The Pyre heart prevails.
I swear, the sound effect on those banishments changes depending on how many exiles you banish in one cast.
The rite is ended.
GG.
Until the stars align.
All right, let us know, chat, if there's anyone else who'd like to hop in, or if there's anything in particular we'd like to see for this next match. Oh, look at that. Roberto says he's available to hop in for a bit.
Okay. I'm out. Let's see where to go. Or if you want to stay.
Either way is fine with me.
You good to stick around, Diavola?
I'll leave.
All right.
GG's.
Good game.
GG's. All right, let's get iRotor then. And
The person who wants to come in also, or just them.
anyone else who'd like to hop in here in addition to iRotor, or just the one? Oh, iRotor, you changed your Steam name. It's more straightforward now, but still. And I believe this is another matchup that we have not ever seen before, right? I don't think you two overlapped.
I'm pretty sure not. The name doesn't sound familiar. Do you remember me?
I want to say it was pretty close, the timing. So
I don't think so. I think we barely missed each other.
I think it was just two ships in the night. Very nearly missed. Okay, in that case, let's see. So iRotor, let me just set you up here. What will it be for you today? Withdrawn?
Withdraw.
Withdrawn? Okay, gotcha. Here we are. Okay, so anything we'd like to see between these two? Do we give Iroder a chance to warm up before we throw anything at him? Or do we go straight into the madness? In what will be a first-time showdown. Oh, true. We have no customize on at the moment. We should probably turn customize back on. Yeah, it's been a while since we've had any first-time showdowns between players. So to have 2 in one day is definitely exciting stuff.
I mean, yes. I asked this earlier, but has Ponzer been around, or has he pretty much been gone too?
He has maybe poked his head in chat on 1 or 2 occasions, but I don't think we've had him in for an actual match in roughly the same amount of time.
I see.
So I'm not sure if he's still lurking, but who knows? Maybe a Ponzer appearance later on. But it looks like it'll just be you two taking whatever you'd like for this first one, so why don't we hop in and get our first Iroder versus Diavola matchup ever.
The withdrawn shall
We're back at the Isle of Kalamer.
the chastity. Welcome. Who shall conduct the rites?
Iroder starts with a quick throwing Palmas. And we've seen Diavola have a lot of success with Zoxiana thus far. Don't know if we've seen him combine her with Luminous Idol, though. That is quite a potent combination. Harps getting their full stamina back when picking up the orb.
I don't know about success per se is the right word to describe what happened to me. However, what I did learn is that harps appear to be quite good.
You'll get no argument from me.
Harps are amazing.
Diavola again goes with a defensive Cur. And Iroder goes Cur as well with Dalbert, though in his case that is an offensive Prayer Beads Cur.
Sure.
And a quick throwing Almer in the last spot. And here we are, for the first time ever, Iroder and Diavola facing off against one another. Here is Iroder. Moving in with Palmas, has that quick throw, oh, but it's wide. So Diavola gets it back here. Moving in with Ulmer and has the quick throwing talisman.
Have made their mark upon the flame.
So that throw lands for 20. And Rotor locking down the orb with the sapling, although the imps were trying to push it away. Now moving in with Palmas and that quick throw. Good for 25. So both players scoring early with their quick throwing characters. I swear, Saxiana just went flying in from halfway across the arena. That was interesting little pinball action there. And a super speedy Dalbert making his way through for 20 on that plunge. Sniped there from Ulmer. Lendl. Right, Rotor hops over the cast and gets rid of one of the defenders. Gets the pass back and plunges here for 20. Moving in with, oh, and well shielded from Palmas. The row is intercepted, though. With Palmas getting back on it here. For a second there, I thought that one was going to go wide right, but it does land for the full 25. Dropping Diavola to just 10 here, so one score may be all Rotor needs.
Okay.
And there it is.
The withdrawn prevail. Their adversaries did not even come close. The right is done.
Well played, you two. Let's head on back.
Until the next right.
And let us know if there's anything we want for the next one. So Diavola, after having gotten back in, having not played Pyre for a while, what feels like the classes that you are most comfortable with at this point? Would it be harps? Would it be demons? I know I asked you before, but now having gotten your feet back out from under you a little bit more.
That's gonna be a hard. I have no idea.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I barely even thought about this game. I remember back then I used to usually play demons, and I seem to have like some degree of success with that. Although it seems I need to explore some new possibilities.
I mean,
I think there are some standard demon setups.
there are definitely some good demon setups for sure. I think that in general, the team compositions that we see nowadays probably does differ quite a bit from what we used to see a year or two ago. So just the types of opponents you're going up against are probably a little bit different. And therefore, there are certain things that are easier to do than other things, certain things that are harder to do than they used to be.
Yes.
And of course, just having not played for a while, getting used
I
to...
mean, SSC beat me with 3 demons once, so
Yeah,
like that's
that was a thing.
and that was with our deck banned, so that's a hint from our deck.
Yeah, no, those were just normal demons, right? I don't think there was an Oralek in that case, because that might have been in a tournament. Alright, but not seeing any requests at the moment, so why don't we get the next one started up?
The withdrawn shall take on the chastity. Welcome. Who shall conduct the rites?
So no requests here. You may take whatever you would like. Pyre goes for the Super Portal Messenger Imp.
I picked the wrong mastery, but okay. Should work out.
Did you not intend to take the salute?
No, but I'll roll with it. That's fine.
And Kaelmer's Anklet on Almer, so his cast will bounce off barriers. Nor is pleased. Quick Vizpaleth here in the next spot for Iroder. Didn't want to say it initially, but I do think we may find ourselves with a couple of demon players facing off against each other here.
You know what? That's how it's gonna be. That's how it has to be. Demon versus demons.
So Diavola goes for the big aura, also on Vizpaleth. Oh, and double imp for my rotor, okay. Interesting selection there. Tend not to see two imps on the same team. That second imp is also camouflaging, as if it is a member of the Chastity. Practically the same color raiments.
Well, just the imp would be golden.
Yeah,
Because
it's more
the
gold than
secondary
the
color
pink.
is,
Obviously, the aura is different as well.
Chastity imps look very cute though.
Not sure how much this will help me.
Well, it is the Chastity, so it is manly, and it's banishing throws on him. So here we go.
Gracious.
Goodness gracious. I rode it through the portal, and in doing so, gets infinite stamina on Vizpaleth. However, that numbing gust slows Iroder down. There is that imp salute. And the unpredictable cast bouncing off the walls nearly got Iroder before he made it in. You never count those casts out, because you just don't know where they're headed. Iroder eventually just goes all the way through here. Plunging for 25, had the extra damage on that imp coming from the mastery. Not quite enough time for Diavola to get the throw off there. Iroder thinking about the portal, but so is Diavola. There's a lot of auras around there. Somehow Iroder does find a way to sneak through, though. Goes for the throw and does make it in. Cuts it a little bit short. 22 rather than the full 30. And Iroder was threatening with the big implosion, but Diavola diffused that situation before it could become an issue. While Iroder perhaps trying to relocate that portal. Does go through it. Blocks. But banished and now moves that portal right next to Diavola's Pyre. But Diavola advancing as well. Has the orb within the safety of the sapling. Pondering the options for Ulmer. Makes his move. Blocked. Hiroto gets it back, but immediately gets banished. Orb. Diavola does have it back. But Hiroto wins it back and plunges quickly for 30. Diavola does have a sap, but I don't recall as to whether he has any rekindling. If he does, it would max out at 10, because I do know that he took that numbing gust. Portal. Hiroto goes through it. Brings him close. Circles around the other way, but gets blocked. Sneaks through in his Howler form for the winning plunge. GG.
Glorious performance, I must say. The ceremony is complete.
Well played, you two. Let's head on back.
Until the stars align.
All right, and let us know if there's anything else we'd like to see. If not, of course, we can have them take whatever they'd like to take, but let us know if we have anything in mind here.
Is anyone looking to hop in? I can pop out whenever.
Okay. Anyone from chat interested in hopping into the action? Not seeing any. Do you? I mean, if you need to go, then let me know and we can swap you out. We'll find a solution. But not seeing any takers at the moment.
Just whenever anybody wants to come in.
Okay, no worries then.
Even though I'm getting my butt handed to me consistently, it is quite fun to be back in Pyre.
Nice. Well, it's good to have you. Good to have you back.
I mean, I got third place in the tournament. Core got second, and Noah got first, and
True.
Fred isn't here, who got fourth.
You are.
So,
You do happen to be competing with the cream of the crop at the moment, so to
I
speak.
can take them. It's all good. Just wait this match and get my spunk back, and then you're gonna see.
Just you wait until you break out your secret weapon.
Did you say Fela got fourth in the tournament?
yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and that's some perspective as well.
I mean, I kind of spoiled you, but like, if you want to watch the matches, they're quite, they're worth watching.
Yeah, Diavola, how many tournaments had we done at the time when you had left?
Well, I wasn't in any of them, but I'm pretty sure at least one of them took place while I was around.
Okay. Core says Phaler's washed. Phaler won the first one. That was the Solium Cup. Then we had the Golathanian Cup was Cam. Well, I mean, now I'm proceeding to spoil all of them. But, so you might have been around for that one? I feel like you might have participated in one of them.
Seems doubtful. I don't ever recall being part of a tournament, so if I did participate, then it's so far gone from my memory.
Okay, fair enough.
I couldn't tell you any details about it.
Yeah, and then the third and most recent one was the one that Pyre was just mentioning. Alright, but not seeing any requests here, so why don't we just hop back in?
But yeah, in case it wasn't clear, Fela still around and still doing the server stuff.
The withdrawal
He's just staying awfully quiet at the moment.
Chastity. Welcome. Who shall
Oops,
conduct
sorry.
the rites?
Paul left side on a prayer beads 10th up for Iroder, so he'll be able to switch places with his closest ally using that harp salute.
By the way, the exploding stuff works if you pick exploding sapling and you have your sapling up and then you trigger the salute and then you blink or just cast your blink and cast your sapling, or you just cast your sapling and then explodes at a new location.
Oh, I see.
Basically, that mastery is a lot stronger than we realized it was when you had last played.
Maybe I'll try it. I think I took this and I didn't even use it the last round. So maybe I'll attempt to make use of that this time. Yeah, sure.
Okay, so it's the exploding sapling, numbing gust, big aura manly in the first spot for Diavola. Iroder going back to a speedy Vispaleth.
Also, the Savage salute is a lot stronger now, because you can cancel that too. You can teleport and sprint, and when you arrive, you are just sprinting and have no delay.
I see.
Exploding Lendl. Oh dear, it's a canned singularity. On Delbert this time. Lucky break means he might come back from banishment in just 1 second, making it a little bit easier to trigger that. Finally, a quick throwing Udmilda for Diavola in the last spot.
Now then. My goodness.
Here comes Udmilda. Here is that quick throw, and it's unblockable. It lands for 30. But we did, I believe, see Iroder take the extra starting Pyre life from Vispaleth, which is why he is still above 100 Pyre life here. And the players collide and go flying in the opposite directions. Dalbert jumps in here for 20. Tamitha for Iroder gets shoulder smashed. Diavola. Oh, and nearly had an alleyway to make it into the Pyre, but got dispossessed. As Vispaleth came swooping in. Here she is. Knocks back a defender. Clearing out room for this plunge. Another shoulder smash. Coming from Lendl there. Diavola with Udmilda. No Vispaleth for Iroder in this round after she plunged. So numbers advantage to Diavola in that way, although big double banishment there. The shoulder smash once again from Lendl, and he has been a thorn in Tamitha's side. Getting rid of everybody here. Udmilda again. Hops over the defender and gets that quick throw off. Good for another 30. Tamitha switches in. Oh, and Iroder just short of reaching the mark with that jump. So down goes Vispaleth, and here comes Diavola with Udmilda once more. Into the corner. Other way with the Dalbert, but he's banished. Diavola. Lendl. With Milda back defensively. Gets rid of one of the attackers, but here comes Vispaleth. She jumps over. And can't make her way through, though. Lendl. To Udmilda. Ooh, sidesteps one defender and hops over the second. And lands the throw. It has been the Udmilda show for Diavola. Never mind the fact that the Pyre Hearts are neither of the teams on this occasion. Dalbert plunges for 20. That drops Diavola down to 30, which means Vispaleth may have sufficient damage here to finish this in one, and there it is.
Yeah, it's a good game. Good game.
GG.
They brushed aside their adversaries without too much trouble. Thus end this night's proceedings.
Well played. Good game.
Until the next rite.
All right. Anything else we'd like to see here?
Do you want another no customize?
Say again?
Do you want another no customize?
I mean, we could. Could turn customize off if you want.
Makes no difference to me.
Well, Iroder does it. All right. Customize is off. Randomize exiles, masteries, and talismans for both players. Won't even get to see what those things are in advance. Just going to get thrown straight into the action. Could still do a song. Could still do an arena if either of those things are of interest. But just about everything else has been accounted for here. Build that wall. Okay, hold on. That's a Tariq Bot one. That will be a Tariq Bot song.
At least I prevented the option of a triple sub request with that song.
Oh.
The triple sub is much less bothersome now that we have exploding sapling type.
Let's see. There we are.
If my memory is correct, at one point we tried running games with 6 saps at a time, and for some reason it would eventually just like give out.
Oh yeah, it imploded. The game would just cease to exist.
Yeah, you can only have 4 saplings in total.
Oh yeah.
All right, well, let's get started then in this customize off match. Alright, it's at the glade. Is that a sign of saps? Well, sort of. It's 2 saps and a demon on Irota's side. And it is a crone, a worm, and a harp on Diavola's side. Everything else, well, we shall see. We do see the extra starting Pyre life for Irota, so presumably that is coming from Vids masteries. So at least somewhat on the right side for her. Irota trying to set up the throw, but Diavola not going to let that happen. Oh, exploding saplings. Okay, learning more about Irota's setup here. Irota stuck in the corner, but does pass it over to Volfred. Now back to Vids. Lots of big auras for Irota in a relatively small arena. Make it hard to maneuver.
Oh no, it's all right, Satin.
Oh, and that looks like that must be a stubborn flame, reducing the maximum amount of damage that Irota has whenever Irota is in the lead. Oh, also, worth noting that you might have realized this, Diavola, but the Glade of Lu we have modded so that it used to spawn in these brambles over time as people scored. We have modded it such that that no longer happens, so it will remain open for the entirety of the match. Just as a heads up. I'm pretty sure you've already had a match with the Glade of Lu, but in case you're wondering why that hadn't happened yet.
How come you modded it so it's like that?
I think people were feeling as if it was a little too uneven between player 1 and player 2 because the brambles were not symmetrical. People felt as if there was an inherent advantage for player 1 over player 2 whenever we got Glade of Lu. I think that was the underlying reasoning.
Bottled Void Sap, let's go.
Bottled Void Sap. Alright, let's see it. Also saw a Moondrop when somebody made a banishment. It looks like it's from Lady River, because it just created another one after that banishment there, and Lady River is the one who's doing the plunging here. And Diavola picks up that Moondrop, so at least momentarily had the infinite stamina. And now no one back for Diavola, and there is, however, the Stubborn Flame activating. So at most, Irota just able to do 15 damage there. Is Valeth back? Has it back. Has a little bit of room to work with it here. Stubborn Flame again, though. Slowing Irota down. And keeping Diavola in this. One sap is all left side, one sap is all right side, says our resident sap expert. Oh, and Irota walking it in with the sap. Now that means no Palmas in this round. Ametha cornered. That leaves Vorfrit. She goes down, but a valiant return from Lady River. Irota goes the throwing route, as he has time to charge that one up for the full 20. Again, 10 less because the Stubborn Flame is active here. Vorfrit hops over one defender. Oh, but Irota recovers. Valiant return, and that means that Diavola able to take out Vids, and, well, there was a Moondrop that was hanging around there for a very long time that Irota picked up. Didn't even see the one that Diavola snagged. But now they have both been used, so I do not believe there's any more sources of infinite stamina just lying around waiting to be taken. Orb, I believe, is still hanging out next to Irota's Pyre, but Irota not opting to claim it just yet. Now does have it, though. And starting to move in. Woodmilda can't make it past that wall of auras, as I was saying before, especially once those saplings are down. There's not a lot of safe space for Diavola to traverse here. Lady River against Palmas. Lady River wins. Gets the orb back, but goes down. Ametha thinking about it. It goes down. Volfred rushed down by Vorfred. Borfrit, banished, but now it's Lady River for Diavola. Can't quite make it past that sapling, though. Diavola threatening with the cast. And times it well. Pamitha. To Borfrit. Back to Pamitha. Who will it be, though? Pamitha is banished here. Oh, everyone now on Diavola's side down, and this could be time for the winning score. And there it is.
Someone built that wall.
Yeah, you did end up getting saps after all.
The rite is complete.
Let's see.
Alright, well played. Let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
Someday those tears are gonna spill.
Alright, anything we'd like to see or hear for the next one?
I know Wild sap into that game. She didn't
Yeah.
request them, but she didn't need to.
I mean, Anor has an uncanny ability to predict what's going to happen. Usually, I think it's from arenas, right? But this time, it was a customized off exile prediction.
Come build that wall up to the sky.
But we will no longer build that wall. And it was Glade, I don't know, does Glade make, yeah, build that wall, Glade of Lu. I guess there's a bit of a match there as well, to a certain extent.
Wait, don't turn on Rust yet.
Oh! More Treatbot requests incoming. Hold on. Now is our rotor about to predict something? At least I suspect that's what's happening here. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, given what we just had. Alright. Working our way through the Bastion soundtrack. Anything else for this one? Seems like that may be all. So let's begin.
The withdrawn shall confront the
All right. Oh, did we mean for customized to be off on this one as well?
I don't care.
It's too late now.
Not too late now. All right, we're doing another customized off match because I forgot to turn it back on. Okay, what do we have? It is Jody, Tamitha, and Raji.
You have a Chastity M. This is a huge win.
There is an imp on Diavola's side. It's Messenger Imp, although he just went down. Gilman and
Chastity Imps are the
Volfred.
cutest.
That is a speedy Gilman. I wonder if he has Tailwind Crest. Oh, and nearly! Diavola was just waiting for the right opportunity to get the cast off and looked like he had it. But apparently Iroder was just barely out of range of it. Okay, we're learning more about Iroder's team here. Has the Harp Salute and using it well on that occasion. Clearing out some room with the demon and then move it up into that open space with the Harp to throw it in. When Iroder has a lot of starting Pyre life, enough so that must be both a Talisman and the Pyre life from Jody as well. Iroder blocks, but now he's the one threatening to implode. Diavola predicted that Iroder was coming through that portal, and he does. Jody unsuccessful this time. And now it's Diavola imploding. And a race to the orb, which is right next to Diavola's Pyre.
I mean, I don't have Flutterfly, but this concept is way too good for customers off.
to the flame.
I mean, this is pretty close to one of your preferred setups, iRotor, with the saluting harp plus a demon. Tamitha. Switches up to the other side, switches into the demon, as we were just saying. It's Jody. She hops around trying to knock back the defenders, but does go down. Both her and now Tamitha as well, so opening here for Diavola. And time to throw it. Doing so with Gilman there, as we were just saying. That amount of starting Pyre life must be coming from a combination of one of Jody's masteries and also starting Pyre life from the talisman on somebody as well. Jody. Oh, but look at that. 50 rekindling. Coming from Volfred there. So second life bar for Diavola. So both players in that case having extra Pyre life of a sort. There is Tamitha plunging for 20. Jody has the plus 30% banishment time. Apparently, Raji has his salute as well, as he can transform into a Howler. Here is Jody. She backs it up. And is eyeing that portal, goes through it. Oh, and it's a super portal, no less. So yeah, it really is very close to one of iRotor's preferred setups. Oh, but last second save there from Diavola, and Jody would have had enough damage to finish it. But look at this, counterattack from Diavola. Sees the opening and speeds into it, and a 15 damage plunge for Sir Gilman. There is the switch. But Diavola is up to the task defensively. Well-placed sapling there. Making it hard for iRotor to make his move in there. Trying to see if he can just barely nab the orb, and somehow does. Gets it with Jody now. Diavola also stops her this time as well, though. No Gilman, of course, for Diavola after plunging with him, though. That does make matters more complicated. Certainly, at least offensively, as Gilman was far and away the fastest exile for Diavola, but now iRotor on the attack with Jody. Goes the throwing route, but that is not enough. And it does mean that now Diavola is back to full strength. Gilman has returned. Tamitha goes the southern route, no switches. Perhaps looking for Jody, here she is. But she's stopped. And Diavola looking for another quick break here. And loops around behind the Pyre, dodging the defenders, and in for 15. Tamitha threatening the cast, but she's the one going down here. Once again, no Gilman for Diavola. Here comes Volfred. He's banished, and Diavola defenseless here. iRotor, oh, at the last second interception from Diavola from what would have otherwise been the winning score. Volfred, he's fast enough as well. Double banishment, though. Long time before Diavola gets any of those defenders back. And so that will be the winning plunge.
The withdrawn prevail. Their adversaries prove no match for them.
This is like a very good composition, but the masteries are all wrong.
It's come.
Don't
But
have
you had the,
Butterfly, it's a right side demon.
You had the salute on the harp, and you had the super stamina portals from the imps. I mean, that's something that you do
That's like
tend
what
to take.
enables it, but all the rest, right? You don't have double dash with the demon.
Oh, that is tough.
And you
yeah.
don't have a flutterfly with the imp because it's all right side. And so it was still really, really good, but it was like really, really good in a, like somewhat like annoying way.
It's like almost, but not quite. All right, well, let us know, chat, if there's anything else that we'd like to see for this one.
Okay, do we have a failure summoning ritual?
Do we have a failure summoning ritual? I don't know. Something having to do with the fate, probably?
By the way, why don't we have why do we have two like Tariq bots?
We have 2 Tariq bots?
If you look at the right side of them in the channel list.
Hold on. Oh! Wait. Did you... I mean, we've had several Tariq bots once upon a time. Tariq bot has died and been reincarnated on several occasions. So I assume that's probably what that's all about.
So just keep the ghosts of the old one around?
I guess so. I guess so. Now that you put it that way, I didn't really think of it, but yeah, in a way. Alright, well, we are trying to perform our Phaler summoning ritual now. So it's Spring of Jomir, the Fates home arena. Everyone is taking all Fate exiles, so that would mean Dalbert, Ulmer, and Raji, a Cur, a Savage, and an Imp, and the Fate theme as well.
Technically, Nomad Savage is also a possibility.
Yeah, in that, well, not with the correct name, but it is one of the compositions that they have. And we should turn customize back on before we forget, because I was totally about to forget. Thank you for that. All right, if this doesn't summon Phaler, then I don't know what does. So we'll give it a shot. Everything Fate themed.
The withdrawn shall confront the chastity. Welcome.
All right, so all Fate team members, Ulmer, Dalbert, and Raji, the modded imp. So our rotor starts with the Banishing Throws Ulmer. Phaler's just sitting there watching the whole stream. Phaler does do that on occasion. He'll just lurk around, and and at the very end of the stream, he'll suddenly appear and chat. People will be like, "Phaler, where were you?" Like, I've been here the whole time. But if he is here, you would assume that this is the type of thing that would make him show his face. Now it's a quick throwing. Ulmer from Diavola, so banishment versus speed. Now, Web Lanthorn Raji in the next spot. Or iRotor. Of course, we know who the exiles are going to be. Mostly just a question of the order. And of course, the masteries and the talismans. On this lighting, Dalbert really looks like he's wearing actual Fate raiments, not chassis raiments. Doesn't that look purple? It does not look...
it's a true Fate team.
It does not look like the chassis colors on that occasion. Hadn't really thought of it before, but I guess the chassis are the closest color-wise to the Fate. There's Dalbert, the last Fate member for iRotor. Yeah, it's not as noticeable for Headwind or really anyone else, but for some reason for Dalbert, it just really looked purple. Raji he's in the modded side, so he's all the way at the bottom right. There he is. Nightwing's the true Pyre Hearts? I don't know.
We have to write it in a mod at some point where, like, we can mod the engine now, so we could do an engine mod where we activate like alternate color schemes, like a button for it, like for a true fade and so on.
I mean, maybe we could go for it. But this is our All Fate Showdown. Arena, exiles, song, everything. So if Phaler is out there, then surely this would make him appear, right? Surely this is how you summon him. But it's Iroder getting us started with a 20 damage plunge from Dalbert. And he did put prayer beads on him, but there's the banishing throws on Almer, so he got rid of one of the defenders. And follows it up with a score on this 20 damage throw. Almer banishes one, gets the orb back, but can't finish the second throw to score on that one. Huge implosion from Raji, though, takes out the entirety of Diavola's team. Then Iroder teleports onto the orb, setting up this quick throw. Good for another 20. Almer again. Raji takes the hit. Diavola has it back, though. Big power jump there. Looking for the angle on the throw, but it's intercepted. Diavola. His character's back defensively, but they all now get banished. That means time for Dalbert. Almer. Looking for the throwing angle. Diavola sacrifices one exile.
Okay.
But Iroder hops over the other for the winning plunge.
The salute is the new Savage mana. Unless Core plays 4 step, you almost always see salute.
Yeah, it turns out the teleportations are pretty strong.
Yeah, teleporting to the orb that the game's all about is pretty strong.
And I mean, it was something that we saw very occasionally back in the day. But outside of the initial race to the orb at the very beginning of the round, that was pretty much the only time we ever saw someone do it. And I can only think of one person who made it a regular addition to their teams. Other than that, it was largely just never chosen.
Is that one person?
Aqua.
Oh, yes. Aqua.
I mean, it's kind of not good if you don't know that you can cancel the delay. Because then you're just like a second where you're in the air and don't do anything.
Alright, well, we attempted to summon Phaler. Any Phaler sightings in chat? Or has it backfired, and now we accidentally wiped him from this plane of existence? I fear perhaps the latter. Never to return Chastity Edition. Ooh, okay. Okay, well, let's reset ourselves here a little bit before we forget. Okay. Rituals just aren't working today. Or was summoned on our second attempt that time. Who knows? Maybe there's just a little delay, right? Maybe it just takes a little bit for it to activate. For Phaler to catch word. Alright, well, it looks like that may be it request-wise for this next one, so why don't we get this started up then? Alright, we're back at Iroder's home arena, the Pit of Malith.
Welcome. Who shall conduct the rites?
And that may even be the reasoning for him picking his team captain there, Udmilda. The speedy Tailwind crest. Tend not to see him take Udmilda all that often, despite it theoretically being his team captain. Banishing throws from Jody with the Brazen Manor as well. Oh, hold on. That's a second crone. That time with the legendary talisman to cast through barriers. So I wrote her very much doubling down on that theme. And Typhoon Bottle on Manly for Diavola. So if everyone is banished on his side, then that means everyone will be unable to sprint, jump, throw, or use any of their special abilities. And hold on just a second, because you saw the first two, and you wondered if there would be a third. And yes, that is in fact the direction that Iroder goes in here. All crones.
I am somewhat frightened, but that's fine.
Generally, it's not that good of a map for 3 crowns, ironically, but...
We'll see if we get a random dread design. That would be fitting.
No, because there's no return.
Oh, right. We've locked one in. That's true. It definitely will not be. Wall of auras, but enough range on the jump for Iroder to make it over them. And that was Udmilda starting things off. That throw, though, is wide of the mark. Jody. Banishes. Oh, but gets banished. Put everyone down for the moment, or at least until Vorfit returns. For Iroder. That throw is short and wide as well, though. Jody again for Diavola, looking to banish once more with the throws, but that throw is short. And then Jody gets banished. Iroder down once again with one of the crones. And Diavola moving in aggressively here. The crones do take the longest to come back from banishment of all the classes. And so Diavola finds himself with no one back to defend him, and throws that one in with Messenger Imp. Once again, going for those banishing Jody throws. But she catches the edge of that cast. Manly for Diavola, perhaps waiting for people like Jody to return. Here she is. Against Bertrude. Bertrude banished. Oh, and rare to see a crone banishing a demon in a battle of auras. Oh, and Iroder's had a lot of success with those last second casts after his exiles have gone down. Time for Jody perhaps for the throw. Yes, it does. Make it in for the full 30. Udmilda quickly goes down as she tried to speed through. Similar story for Bertrude. That means just Vorfit back. But Diavola perhaps also waiting to get Jody. Here she is. Puts the orb safely within the confines of that sapling, and now has it back with Jody. Oh, but quick defensive play there from Iroder. Just enough to stop Jody, but once again, that last second cast stopped what would have otherwise been an opportunity for a quick score for Diavola. Jody down once again. Orb. Good news for Diavola, just so happens to fall within the safety of that sapling, and suddenly, everyone down. And there is Diavola, plunging in for 5 this time, because Iroder did take Stubborn Flame, so if Diavola is in the lead, Diavola will deal 10 less damage, which is particularly painful when it comes to the lower damage exiles. Minus 10 to an exile that maxes out at 15 damage means you are cutting almost all the damage out from that score. There is the Typhoon Bottle activating, slowing down Iroder as everyone was banished on Diavola's side. Diavola waiting for Jody to return again, perhaps. She does banish one, but then goes down herself as well. No Messenger Imp, as he did plunge So it is down to just Manly and Jody to find a way to make it happen here for Diavola. It is Jody now. Little pinball on her throw, but nothing coming of it. Oh, and actually misses on the banishing throw there. Threw it past the defender, seemingly. Iroder picks it back up and jumps in for 30 now. And that means that Iroder now takes and extends a lead. Stubborn Flame no longer active, so Diavola dealing full damage. Oh, but Iroder had that Chrome Salute, the ace up his sleeve, except, hold on, falls into the sapling, and it is still possible for Diavola to score with the Howlers. They go down. They will respawn in their usual form. Numbing Gust, or rather, Typhoon Bottle active here, slowing down Iroder, almost giving enough time for Diavola to come back. But the Rekindling is ultimately what saves him here. The second life bar, now fantastic opportunity for Jody to throw this one in for the full 30. And now it is a one-score game for both players. Iroder hops in, blocks. And everyone down on Diavola's side will slow down Iroder because of that Typhoon Bottle. But is that enough? Here comes Iroder. Oh, almost had it. But Messenger Imp with the defensive play. And look at that, Jody bounces Messenger Imp across the field, and in doing so, gets a banishment out of it. You don't see that every day. Jody does go down, though. Iroder, not quick enough. Messenger Imp. Just trying to bide time, get some reinforcements, and does so with Jody. Jody, banishing with the throws, banishes everybody! And Jody!
Okay.
With the winning throw.
Good game.
I wanted to get more reflex scores. I got two.
GG.
The rite is ended.
All right. Well played. Let's head on back.
Most of the Savage throws, but Savage throws are boring. You really need to do the plunger.
You prefer off-the-wall plunges to off-the-wall throws?
It's incredibly fun to do the Tailwind Crest sprint into, like...
Full speed ahead.
Yeah.
Does anybody want to slot in for me? I feel like that's the perfect way to end my comeback. That probably the best I'm going to do tonight, so...
Anyone else who'd like to jump in? It is getting pretty late, so I'm thinking we might be looking to go Liberation Rite fairly soon. We have anyone who hasn't played today who is yet to jump in?
Probably not, we're pretty low real count today.
What do we say? What if we make that our... Usually I give you guys the warning, I say, let's do the penultimate rite, give you a last chance to get any requests in before we do our Liberation Rite, where we won't take requests, but what if that one is our penultimate rite? That one feels, as Diavola was just saying, like a fitting one. But then that means we could now go into the Liberation Rite right here? How does that sound?
I mean, sure. Seems fine to me.
If you want to end on the victory, we may need to conscript Vids for the Liberation, right?
I can hop in if you'd like. I can hop in for the
Or
Liberation
Lix
Rite.
could play against you in the Liberation.
I could.
Yeah. You should do that, Liz.
All right, want me to hop in?
Yep.
Okay, was fun. Thanks for the game.
Yep, it was very fun.
Thanks for stopping by, Rotor. All right, so this matchup has happened before, but it has been a long time.
Very long time.
All right. Let me just update the name. I'll go Pyre Hearts. Let me just get rid of the withdrawn and add in the Pyre Hearts. There we are. All right. So, shall we do a penultimate rite? Do we give people one last chance to make any requests if they'd like to, or should we just go straight into the Liberation Rite here? What are we feeling?
I'm fine to go straight to the Liberation.
Okay, sure. Let's go for it then. All right, so that means Fall of Solium. We'll have Sermon Intro put on. And usually we go the never to return version of whoever is player 2. We did just do the never to return chastity, so I don't know. How do we feel about back-to-back never to return chastties, or do we want to switch it up and go for Pyre Hearts instead for this one? Are we averse to the back-to-back chastities? Or is that still fine? We did make some slight alterations to the Liberation Rite setup of sorts, in a way. So there might be just a small little bonus that Diavola has not seen yet, or experienced. Alberto says, chastity is still fine? Alright, sure. Let's go for it then. Let's do this, shall we?
I bid you welcome, exiles. Welcome to the fall of Solium. Here one of you may walk the path to glory. Try not to let the pressure get to you. Pyre hearts, stand prepared. The chastity, stand prepared. Now let us begin.
Alright, so this will be our final rite of the night, our Liberation Rite. So I'll be on the left representing the Pyre Hearts, and Diva will be on the right representing the Chastity. No request for this one, just going to take our preferred teams here, and it has been a while for me, but let's see what I can throw together here. See what I can throw together. Also, couldn't say when the last time I did Liberation Rite was, but good to be back, and good to be having a showdown that we've not seen in over a year, possibly around 2 years, as we were saying before. Let's see, hold on. That was a quick throwing Jody, was it not? Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. I'm gonna go, just a matter of order here. Go for the most stylish man on the downside, I think. No, I'm not. I'm not. I take it back. Web, Lanthorn, T-Zone, the second spot for me. Banishing Throw Almer, who will be matching up with the most stylish man on the downside with a very similar setup, no less. Except rather than banishing throws, it'll be quick throws for me. So I am all set and ready to go. Diavola. Going for a speedy Udmilda, and here we are, our final rite of the night, our Liberation Rite. I am on the left representing the Pyre Hearts. Diavola on the right representing the Chastity. Best of luck. Cool. Make it through that time. Alright, let's see it. Vanishing Throws from Jody. That's, of course, a threat. Vanishing... Oh, yeah, 2 characters with Vanishing Throws, in fact. Ooh, good interception. Oh, you nabbed that at the last second. Well done.
I'm not entirely sure what happened, but
I was charging up a throw and I thought I got it off just in time. But right as I released it, you jumped over my head and stole the orb. Oh, that was the wrong place to jump. Hello. How goes it? Oh, not quite. Hey, Pamitha, I'm afraid to say you're all by yourself here. No prayer beads on her, though, so she is going to be gone for this round. She was, in many ways, the linchpin of the team. Does make matters more difficult here. Oh, and down goes my only well-positioned defender.
Orb has hit the mark.
Jody for 30. Pamitha's back.
And there it is.
And there it is.
The Pyre
Well done.
hearts
GG.
proved their worth.
Well played.
Their adversaries they defeated utterly. Thus ends the liberation rite.
All right, and as we were saying, that was our final rite of the night, our liberation rite. Thank you, everybody who participated in the rite today. Thank you, Diavolo, for making a reappearance here. Glad to get you back and get some new matchups, new people for you to play against. Always fun to see that type of thing happen.
it was nice to meet everyone.
And I'll catch you guys next week.
Any of y'all since the last time I was here.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, just more good things to come in the near future as well. I'll catch you later.
Yeah.
All right. Well, chat. Let me just free Diavola from the prison that is Steam Remote Play. And then... Not quite done with you yet. That was, as I was just saying, our final rite of the night, our liberation rite. So thank you everybody who participated in the rites today. Thank you everybody who gave us the requests in chat today as well. Always good to see a few familiar faces popping up, whether it be in chat or in this case also in the matches as well. And of course, this was Pyre Community Rite Night, multiplayer Pyre, which we are doing every Sunday. If you are interested in getting more involved in multiplayer Pyre, then you can do so by joining the Rite Club Discord server, which you can do by clicking on that link right there. That's where we're coordinating all of this stuff. My name is Lids. I'm hosting these Rite Nights. Our stream schedule. Last Friday, we did the Witcher 3 update, but I think we've done just about everything big that I wanted to make a point of doing. So we're probably gonna mix it up and do something else on Friday. Might start a new game or do something a little more casual, a little more, party game with potentially getting some people involved from chat, kind of like what we did with Pummel Party a few weeks ago. Maybe it might even be that, because it might be sort of a one-off thing, basically. And I am ordering, and at some point in time, receiving a PC upgrade that may open up some new options for the games that we can play, but I think that's been delayed a bit, so that still might not be available yet on Friday. So Friday is a little bit TBD. Saturdays is Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. Now, granted, next Saturday is Christmas Eve, which I am not sure 100% if I'm going to stream then or not. If I do, it's probably going to be pretty brief. But generally speaking, outside of the holidays, Saturday is Mass Effect 3 multiplayer day. Then Sundays, of course, is Pyre multiplayer. That being said, next Sunday is Christmas Day. So I think we were saying last week that, well, I am probably definitely not going to be available on that day, and I think a lot of other people will not either. So happy holidays to you all. Hope you enjoy your holidays, and you know, we'll get back to the Pyre multiplayer RITE NITE action on a later occasion. Although I might actually look to stream something the following day on Monday, the day after Christmas, the 26th, because I'm taking work off that day, and so, you know, the makeup stream of sorts. Not sure if we can necessarily make it be a RITE NITE stream when, you know, that requires a little more coordination, getting enough people in to play as well. So that one might also be more of a one-off type thing, a new game, or a more casual game that doesn't require as much of, well, a schedule and whatnot. But if you haven't done so already, of course you can hit the follow button to get notification for when I go live, which, especially given how the schedule, as I was just saying, is likely to change a little bit over the holidays, now is the right time to be doing that. Also, at Vids on Twitter, I post there whenever I go live, but actually the best place to stay up to date on all things Lids, especially in this upcoming week, is my own Discord server, which you can join by clicking on that link right there. That is the best place for getting up to speed on the things that we're planning to do for the coming week or two, given the unusual schedule with all the holidays and whatnot. But thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Happy holidays to you all, and I'll catch you next time.